Today we're rating a custom Magic the Gathering cards. We're going to start off with the Whims of Emrakul. This is a blue instant. Now counter target spell unless its controller pays a colorless. This is a bit awkward because this is literally, isn't it just like strictly worse counter spell? But it's better than all the other counter spells for 2 mana. Or are they? It's like, you know what it should be? It should be like a blue 1 generic. I actually think this is a bit underwhelming. We literally have like counter spell for blue, and then it gets like better from there. We got mana drain, but it could be a strictly better like mana leak or all those other cards that are like a blue 1 generic. I mean, it's definitely playable. This is a 100% doable card. The world is indeed comic, but the joke is on mankind. Well, no one expected to be attacked by a giant spaghetti monster. I guess you have to pay the colorless to pledge your allegiance in some manner. In some manner. Okay, next up, we're going to take a look at the Malicious Feeder. What, feeding the squirrels? I also am a fan of feeding, like, you know, the pigeons and things like that. There's always some birds gravitating around the pond. This is a green 1/2 human scout, though, looking to feed all the wildlife. Death touch! Don't get too close, birds! It's danger! Okay, tap, put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature you don't control. It loses flying for the rest of the game. That is very harsh and cruel. I don't get it. Want more? Come a little closer. Is this supposed to be like, you feed food to the birds in such a way that it gets fat and can't fly away anymore? Is that how it works around here? Do we not have music? Oh God, we don't have music. Hold on. We're gonna have music here in a split second. Can we not get through at least one show without technical difficulties? Yeah, why did that thing go away? I don't get it. Do we have music now? I hope we have music now. I hope that it's not a problem. Okay, anyway, Malicious Feeder. I guess, yeah, I guess you could do that. It's a hell of a 1 mana card for a 1/2, in my opinion. But 2/1 on target creature you don't control. I would love to donate you some +1/+1 counters, and maybe I'll proliferate. We still don't have music. Okay, I'm ending. Okay, this is stupid. I'm gonna end the stream and we're gonna start back again. I'll be right back. It's too many technical. Oh no, I can't. I'm not doing this. Okay, there's too many super chats. I'll lose all the super chats. I've done this before. One, stop screen, present, share. Let's get that audio in the house. All right. Oh. Okay, now do we have it? Okay, now I think we got it. Okay, I think we have it now. Do we have it now? I think we have it now. In my opinion. Okay, it's working. Excellent. Yeah, I can't stop the stream. You people and your super chats. We did that before and I lost all the super chat and it was terrible. We just have to power through. Hope I didn't lose anybody here. Yeah, but we got to move on with Dark Star. Sure, thank you very much for your super chat. Oh, Ogden and Tessa. Take a look at this super chat. By the way, if you want to be part of the show, Ogden. Real smooth. The whole show is starting off real smooth. I just got a bunch of technical difficulties figured out, and now we have new technical difficulties. Okay, this is a 4-mana 4/4 dwarf elf. I thought like the dwarf and Legolas, they didn't like each other. I thought they're like sworn enemies. First strike and vigilance. Creatures you control with a mana ability have vigilance, and other dwarves you control have tap, add, or red. Other elves you control get +1/+1 for each dwarf you control. Ogden and Tessa, letting everyone know, look, the dwarves, the elves, we might have differences, but we can all coexist together. With a mana, creatures with a mana ability. So effectively, basically the elves. Did the dwarves have any mana abilities? They make treasures, but wouldn't consider that a mana ability. All right, this is definitely. Oh, I see. Other dwarves you control though are gonna get that mana ability. Learning the ways of the elves, but grasping the mana of the mountain. Okay, that's totally a pass. Excellent, Ogden and Tessa. For anyone that wants to combine... What's the white for? Where'd that come from? Just because you want to have a white legendary creature? Or a Naya legendary creature, I should say. Moving on to the freebie section, we got Star Memory of the Void. This is a black-white one generic human warlock. On top of that, it's a star warlock. It's a star creature named Star. You get it? Did everyone like that? I think that's very, very cute. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in exile. And then all counters are finality counters in addition to their other types. If a permanent with a finality counter on it would be put into a graveyard, exile it instead. But I don't get it. Okay, we need to start the game with cards in exile, though. Also, tap, put a lore counter on target permanent. A lore counter? I don't know what this is for. It's equal to number of cards in exile. Now, it can put cards in exile, but it needs to be in play. But if nothing's in exile, then it like just dies instantly. Instant death. Anyway, okay, so I don't understand this card. I think actually it's a real build around card, so I'm gonna absolutely give it a pass. Next super chat. Let's give one to Ty Free, Regia, Protector of Souls. How do I find this thing? Regia. Did you post it in my Discord, Ty? If you post, you have to give me... I've got specific instructions. You have to post it with a title. I don't know where you posted it, though. See, here's how it works around here, Ty. This is how it works around here. You post the title with the card in my Discord. I go look up the card. And then I find it immediately. Oh, no, it's on Reddit. We don't do that around here. Okay, for you, I'll make an exception for you here. But you do that again. I'm donating it to somebody else. All right, I have to make. We're gonna duplicate this tab. Reddit doesn't. Its search feature sucks, which really bogged down the show in the past. So we dumped Reddit, and then we started using my Discord. Okay, we got Raja. It is a. We can see most of it over here. It is a 5-mana 4/4 angel. Whenever a source you control gives protection from a color, create a 2/2 angel creature token with flying and protection from that color. Permanent protection from red, perhaps. And also for 2-mana tap, target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn, enabling itself. I like that card. This is a banger card. Very janky. And by jank, I mean it's gonna make a lot of fun. So you have to. You know what's interesting? Yeah. So it enables itself with this tap ability. You can make a whole bunch of creatures with protection, whatever the hell you want. Does it choose any color in colorless? No, just one color. So the Eldrazi still are a pain for you. Nice card. Excellent. Moving back to the freebie section. Okay, the freebie section around here. Silver Quill Archives. That's right. I like that they're using the Silver Quills, the Riveteers. Those names are way better. So this, I can't remember what Silver Quill was. Is that the wedges? I think so. I guess this is Esper. White, tap to add blue-black. Blue, tap to add Orzhov. Or black, tap to add Azorius. Beautiful. This is it's fantastic card. The best filter land of all time. This is just, it's inevitable that they'll make these cards into reality. You wait. I think they were like halfway there. They've got like monocolor cards now. They're like tap out a blue, but if you control an island, tap for black or something like that. And they have that for 5 colors. Silver Quill is the white black in the school, right? I don't know. I think so. Isn't that an awesome name though? The Silver Quill, the Prismari. I'm a huge fan, absolute huge fan of these names. Would not name it any differently. Screw the Orzhov, the Silver Quill. There's only one way we get Wizards of the Coast or the community to change the names at large. We have to use them. I got to memorize them. This is people will hate me though. What is the blue-black one? I'm gonna learn them. That's gonna be my study job. This is the Silver Quill are great. Okay, next up. We got another super chat. We got one from Will Anderson. The Devious Tutor. Thank you very much for your super chat. And remember, for the bigger super chats, or so I should say, the one that people who are submitting series, we'll do that after the sponsor segment. I get to every super chat, every show. Don't worry. I got it all under control. Okay, we've got Devious Tutor, a blue sorcery. When an opponent searches their library, you may discard Devious Tutor from your hand. Okay, it's like a trap card. It's like a gotcha of some sort. If you do, you control that player while they are searching their library. What do you mean their library? Searches their library. Oh, I see. So they search their library. You can discard it. Now you control them while they're searching their library. If you fail to find one or more cards during that search, that opponent may repeat that search and you draw a card. Okay, so basically you're forcing you have to get something for them. Search your library for a sorcery card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So you are looking for something for them, and you look for something yourself. I actually think this is broken. I think this is busted. So basically, you get a free tutor and tutor your opponent some crap. I think it's fair that you can tutor the first block, the first paragraph is fine. That second paragraph, absolutely not. That is a little too extreme. 0 mana tutor, and also okay, I know it's just a sorcery card. I don't care. I think it's too strong. That is a bonkers counter. And like, tutoring happens literally all the time. Nikachu, it's either or, not both effects. I don't interpret it like that. If you do, you control that player while they are searching their library. If you fail to find one or more cards, like you control their library and you go get a land, right? You don't get the second part unless you cast it. Oh, is that true? That makes no sense to me. Like if you may discard this card from your hand. If you do, oh, I see. Okay, so like you only get this blob if you cast it for free. Otherwise, it's a sorcery card. Okay, in that case, if that's true, then it passes. That is not intuitive to me at all, though. You have to discard, so there is no spell cast allowing you to search. That's not how I would have interpreted this thing. I didn't misread the card. I read the card perfectly. I did not interpret the card perfectly. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you Commander players, you know the rules better than competitive players. Also, when it comes to custom cards, like these break the rules and all normal conventions of the game. I'm not going to figure it out on the spot. All right, you got this one. This one's going to be a pass around here. Okay, back to the freebie section. We've got the Mandate of Heaven. The Heaven God has something to say. You better do it. We have a 6 mana sorcery. Reset your commander taxes to 0. I think that's a deal that everyone can get behind, but it's only you. Virtue begets prosperity. Vice begets ruin. Your deeds govern the fate of all. Okay, that's fine. I have nothing to say about this card. This is perfectly fine. The damn draws with Gula and is this a 2? We'll find out what the type of card this is. This is Gula and Temperantia. Temperantia. I'm just gonna look up Gula and hopefully that shows up. You literally have 2 cards here. Okay, let's take a look at them. The damn draws. The first one, Gula, green, black, X, a 3/5 demon avatar with Menace and Ravenous. Dredge 7? You know, a lot of decks would play this card just for that. Actually, I'm pretty certain this card is like stone cold broken just because of that card. So just because of that line of text. When Gula enters, each player mills 5 cards. When Gula attacks, defending player mills 2. And it's got Regurgitate. Pay 4, tap, put a card that you milled this turn into your hand. It costs X less to cast until end of turn, and it must still cost at least 1. So I know outside of Commander, this is absolutely broken. Would be instantly banned. Maybe it won't be instantly banned everywhere. But this is just a superior Golgari Grave Troll, which already has Dredge 6. And if no one's ever seen a dredge deck go off, well, it danger! All right, a danger! You can have their whole deck in the graveyard in 1 to 2 turns. And that's with like dredge 6s in the deck. Dredge 6s and dredge 5s. And now the deck will be full of dredge 7, dredge 6, which is beyond insane. What do you mean, like, do not underestimate. Do not underestimate the power of dredge. It's a lot of words on this thing. Honestly, I think it's just like completely over. Even outside the fact that it's dredge 7, I think it has too many words on it. It literally has like 7 abilities on top of it. This is too strong. Even for it's literally just 6 mana. And what's with the X? Oh, it costs X less to cat. What? Regurgitate 4. Put a card you milled this way. I don't even know what the X is for. X is redundant. The art is so bad. It's a gula. You've never seen a gula before? That's what it looks like. Okay, we got Temperantia. Now, this is a black, blue, white, 1 generic 4/6 angel avatar with flying and mentor, as if it needs to be mentored around here. Temperantia enters with 3 temperance counters. Remove a temperance counter. Target creature gets your choice of hexproof, flying, death touch, or double strike. It gets it as a counter. Now for Esper and tap, target modified creature gets -1/-1 for each modification on that creature until end of turn. That's pretty weird and funny. Now, if you would mill or discard a card, draw a card instead. Activate only once. Hold on. So you just get to get 1 card. So if I mill or discard, I draw. Okay, that's actually fine. That's actually that's fine value. And you know what? For 7 mana, I think it's worth. None of these are supremely broken. I'm super concerned about this thing. Or maybe I'm just overrating the dredge. I have too much history. Too much stuff going on. That is true. Less is more. Let's not forget about the lesson of less is more around here. Okay, freebie section. We got Lob, Bauble, Blob. It is a 3 mana 3/4 ooze. Tap. Exile 4 different cards from your graveyard. Name Conjurer's Bauble, Lodestone Bauble, Mishra's Bauble, Urza Bauble, Vexing Bauble, and or Wayfarer Bauble. Create Bob's Battle Bauble, a legendary 2020 colorless construct artifact creature token with trample and ward 3. When this token leaves the battlefield, return all cards exiled with Blob to the battlefield under their owner's control. Basically, it's like the Power Rangers. You get all the Power Rangers Transformers together, and boom, you've got a... I don't know why it's a blob. None of the baubles... I thought all the baubles are artifacts, so the flavor is a bit of a fail, but the card is absolutely... It's actual jank, to be honest. 3 mana 3/4, that was probably the best part of this card. Battle of the Baubles. Well, the baubles are going to assemble together to create the mega legendary construct artifact. As weird as that looks. Okay, next up, let's take a look at We Done Need Badgers with the Ravok Stormbringer. This is my idea for a ball lightning deck, do you say? Ravok. Looks like Sauron. This is a black, green, red, 1 generic 2/3 elemental shaman with haste and menace. When Ravok Stormbringer attacks, you may return target elemental creature card with toughness less than Ravok's toughness from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. Exile at the beginning of the next end step. Only a 2/3, you say? It attacks, you may return target elemental creature. This reminds me... They have a card like this that already exists. I can't remember. It's like it's a 1/2 or something. It's very, very small, but it brings back elementals, or I guess it brings back maybe any creature from your graveyard back to the battlefield. I don't remember what it's called though. This is basically the exact same thing in legendary form, so go for it. Yeah, this goes into the ball lightning deck. The 8-ball. There's not that many ball lightnings in the game. Maybe we can have, or I think there's not. Maybe we could have a show. Every ball lightning. We can define a ball lightning that's like at least 4 power and 1 toughness. And it has to have haste. The Age of Time says, your other channel doesn't get many uploads. I know, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I should be working. I would work on it harder if I wasn't on this channel so often. There's 3 ball lightnings. Say, if I make you guys try hard enough, you'll find out more. Okay, next up. Freebie section. The Velgavoth, Duskmourn itself. 6 mana, 5 loyalty, Velgavoth, Planeswalker. If you had set a scheme in motion, you may set up to 3 schemes in motion instead. I have no idea how powerful that is, or if that is even meaningful at all. +2, Velgavoth, Duskmourn itself deals 3 damage to each player and each creature. If you are the arch enemy, you gain that much life. This is all soup to me. I've never played arch enemy before. -8, destroy up to 2 target creatures. Put up to 2 target creature cards from the graveyard onto the battlefield and under your control. If you are the arch enemy, Velgavoth can be your commander. This card's soup. Is this good? Yeah, exactly. What's a scheme for some people? Scheme? That's a card? Is that real? Is it canon? Or is that just a whole completely made up thing? No, it's real. I've heard of it. I don't know how it's applied. Yeah, I've heard of schemes. Maja says it's broken. Broken! Get it out of here. I heard one person say it's broken. That's good enough for me. That's absolutely good enough for me. We can't be having so many broken cards around here. All right, let's take a look at another super chat, shall we? This time the super chat shall be from... Who hasn't got a super chat yet? We got a small super chat from Majra. Donation for Pedgeman. Add time. Hope we can find something from this. Okay, add time. This is an X legendary instant. It's got spree. Choose 1 or more additional costs. So for a blue, put X time counters on up to X permanents or suspend cards. And also X, you get X upkeep steps after this phase. What? That sounds insane. Choose 1 or more additional costs. I don't get that. You get X upkeep steps after this phase. I have a feeling that's broken somehow. Like, there's so many cards that are like, okay, at upkeep, draw a card and get something. So you could be like, okay, well, I'm just going to take this. I basically, for as much mana as I have, I get that many upkeep steps. And if you have so many creatures on the battlefield that trigger at upkeep, it's just like, that's outrageous. I think that is probably broken, especially since this is not symmetrical. This is only happening one way around. Upkeep steps. Oh, is it XX? That is not particularly clear here, Pedgeman. So we pay X for the card, and we have to pay X here. It's more fair. The upkeep costs double X, not X. Searching for my X. Okay, if that's true... So with 6 mana, we get 3 extra turns. That's what you're telling. That's what all of you are telling me right now. Reluctant pass, but like incredibly reluctant. It still sounds like really abusable. 6 mana and 3 upkeeps is still probably going to pay off incredibly big time. And even getting to 4 mana is relatively easy, in my opinion. Okay, with that, we're going to move on to the freebie section. We got Okami, Ethereal Fang. This is a blue, red, green, 2 generic, 2/6 human warrior. Sorcery spells you cast are arcane in addition to the other types. I have no idea what the consequences of that are. Instant cards in your hand have splice onto arcane, where the splice cost is equal to that card's mana value. I mean, you know what? Maybe that's broken. So the thing is, like, splice and arcane is not really that good of a mechanic, but they balanced the cards in such a way that it was not easy to use them. And what's interesting is that this card adds a phenomenal amount of mana just by itself. So it's a giant mana rock. Or it's like a gilded lotus, almost like. It's 5 mana to add 3 mana, as far as I see it over here. Obeka Splitter of Seconds, giving upkeep always for... Oh, this is in regards to the last one. Always for free. Yeah, it's only one upkeep, though. One extra upkeep, right? What instant costs 0 or have no mana cost? Those would be good with this. Many. So many. It's like billions. So many I can't even mention a single one right now. Okay, I will hope that this doesn't break the game, and I'll pass it. It's like one of those cards, like I look at it, like I can't think of every combination of arcane and splice card there possibly could be to abuse this thing. Generally speaking, if it's 0 mana, it's not that good. Or like, I don't know, you want to put a Pact of Negation on something, or like a Summoner's Pact on top of another card. I guess that's possible. Just double the value that way. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Gabrielle Doyen. One card for tonight, but I'm sure it's a banger. We got a Merfolk even. Well, sort of a Merfolk. He had a meeting with a Mama Emrakul named the Tide Silencer. Tide Silencer. Tide Silencer here is a blue, 1 generic, 2/2 Eldrazi Merfolk. They've assimilated everything on Zendikar. It's got Devoid, Flash, and a kicker of colorless and 1 generic. When you cast this spell, return target spell an opponent controls to their hand. It's like they already made like an Eldrazi basically like this. When you cast this spell, if it was kicked, exile target spell. Oh, it does have Flash. Copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. This card is absolutely insane. I'm concerned it's too good. Would I play it? Absolutely. It's like instant speed, 3 mana bounce your creature. Flash speed is strong. And then for 5 mana, I can counter some stuff. I exile spells, and then I get to keep it for myself. Okay, it could be too strong, but I'll tell you what, it's a Merfolk, and I would like to see it into existence. Yeah, 5 mana Flash. Ugh. This has to be too strong, right? Yeah, it's just 5 mana Commandeer. It's basically divide by 0 on steroids. All right. All right. I won't show my... I gotta be impartial here. I'm not gonna show my bias. Yeah, it's effectively stealing the spell. Effectively. Okay, next up, freebie section. In the freebie section, we got Manifest Ren. What, Ren in 6? This is... Okay, we got... What a weird hybrid mana cost for this thing. Rakdos, is it? Gruul... Sorry, Rakdos, Prismari, Gruul, and Boros. Aura. Enchant creature. When Manifest Ren enters, choose 3. The same mode can be chosen more than once. One of First Strike, Vigilance, or Flying. One of +2/+2, +4/+0, +0/+4. One of Haste, Menace, or Trample. Enchanted creature has the chosen abilities. So for 4 mana, we can give something +12/+0. Really smack someone for 1 billion damage. I'm very nervous of this card being in existence. But it doesn't give hexproof or anything, so, I mean, it's perfectly possible to interact with the creature that you're enchanting. And it's an aura! And frankly, you know what? Auras, they're clunky. They gotta be played at sorcery speed. Your opponent will know exactly what's up when you play the damn thing. Any bingo card for the custom card freebie section? We have nothing. We got no bingo. Do you want to make a bingo card, Islarf? You go make a bingo card. Then I'll approve it for next week. Brawly Shadow is like, I really don't think people understand how hybrid mana works. This can be cast as mono red, but isn't a mono red effect. Except in Commander, you have to be in all these colors in order to have it even in your deck. So that's the downside. Otherwise, like, you know, they can't play it for quadruple red. It's fair. They got in Soul Artifact. This is not in Soul Artifact. I do believe that this is better. This is like way better. You could even just give +2. You can give this thing +6/+6, which maybe is underwhelming for the mana cost. Whatever. It's a very interesting card. I'll give it a pass. And we're gonna look at more crazy custom Magic the Gathering cards on this show, but we gotta first take a break to thank our sponsors, FusionGamingOnline.com. my favorite place to buy my Magic the Gathering cards. And deal of the week this week, save 15% off Guilds of Ravnica block singles. You know what the best card you get from Ravnica blocks? Shocklands. You need them dual lands for that consistency in your commander decks. And what a better place to get them than at FusionGamingOnline.com. Don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. Your ability to play any format, anytime that you want on Magic Online. If you like to play a wide variety of decks or change your deck as the metagame adjusts, you're going to want to rent with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_F90. And now back to our crazy Magic the Gathering cards. Okay, last one from the freebie section. Let's take one. Let's look at Olivia. Chubby Meatball! Does anyone hear my cat meowing in the background? She's meowing 24/7 to go outside. She doesn't realize she's on, like, the top floor of a condo. Chubby Meatball! Chubby Meatball, shut up! Oh, she's coming. I called her. Okay, you gotta be part of the show now. You wanna make noise? You're part of the show. She got a cone. She attacked herself. I think everyone knew. Yeah, we had one show that was offline. She's a cone kitty now. She's a cone kitty. You're a cone kitty, Chubby Meatball. She's completely adapted to cone life. Okay. We're doing the show together, Chubby Meatball. Don't run. That's right. You don't go anywhere. Say hi to everybody. I'll lower the microphone down a little bit. I hope you're more quiet in my hands. We got Olivia Voldaren, the sleeper queen. We got a red-black 2/2 vampire noble flying. Whenever another non-token vampire dies, you may pay 2 life. If you do, create a 1/1 black bat creature token. Also for a red and a black, tap, sacrifice a bat or blood. Gain control of target non-vampire creature until end of turn. Untap it. It gains haste and becomes a vampire in addition to its other types. I'll tell you one thing that vampire players love. They love stealing your creatures, and they'll love stealing it with the Olivia Voldaren. Okay, are you gonna keep making noise all day? I got a big show today, all right? You're gonna keep making noise? You gotta either be part of the show or not. If you're not gonna be part of the show, you gotta be quiet. Okay, now beat it. Scram. My cat likes being held, but not when she's like just hell bent on getting outside. You're late, Chubby Meatball. You're supposed to distract him during the AI. Yeah. She was really quiet for the AI stream. She wasn't around at all. Now she just decided to completely wake up. All right, let's take a look at Winter Fox's Super Chat on the road. One of the big ones. You can't stay on my desk. She likes to hang out on my desk. Basically, a look into the smaller parts of my Dream Mirror set, what the non-moderator admin denizens do and use, how they live and such. Adventuring edition, flavor, text, please read. All right, I'll take a look. No, I'm not reading this flavor. It's too much. I'm going to read one. Like, I'm here to read novels of Magic cards, but not of the flavor text. And you literally have 5 cards. You have to literally pay double for me to read the flavor text. Okay, Adventures Travel Rations 1. Artifact Ration. Sacrifice Adventures Travel Rations. You gain 3 life and add 1 mana of any color. It is your ability to properly pack and manage rations for traveling that makes or breaks your early adventuring career. Combat may be important, but even the most seasoned warriors will agree that without proper rations, one will not be able to travel, much less fight. This actually sounds like some useful life advice around here. Although I don't go to war very often, and by not often, I mean never. An excerpt from The Golden Rules, an adventurer's guide to traveling and rest. Oh, it's just traveling, period. It's like a survival guide. It's a flavor novel. And we got Wild Forester's Rations, also a 1 mana ration. Sacrifice the rations, you gain 5 life. And then the next creature you cast gains +1/+1 and has haste when it enters the battlefield. You got that energy. All you need is a little bit of energy. You got a little pep in your step. The travel-worthy food from the Wilder Forest are always full of nutrients. Even a single portion of their simplest wayfarer's bread and a flask of wellspring water can satiate an average adult for an entire meal. An excerpt from the Wild Forest. You, an adventurer's guide to the Wilder Forest. The Wilder Forest. Mount Diblet travel rations, also a 1-mana artifact ration. Sacrifice Mount Diblet travel rations. You gain 5 life, then untap target land you control. Okay, I'm going to read this one, and then I'm going to skip through the next two. Mount Diblet is the home to the Highland Halflings, famous and infamous for their herbed up, ale-filled drunken brawls, sugary sweet confections, and hearty mushroom teas. There ain't any hub better for grub to satisfy all your trekking and climbing needs with sweet cakes, nutty crumbles, and candied poppy seeds, and Highland herb and spice mixes. You never go hungry now, nor feel poorly on your journey. Never read the book. Okay, Stonegate Mountain Hold rations, a 1-mana ration. Sack it. You gain 8 life, then prevent the next instance of damage you take from any one source. That's actually not bad. That, like, blanks one creature. You gain an insane amount of life just for one mana of an artifact. You can just let it sit there. Okay, we got 6 for the Hero's Feast Tavern. This is 6 mana. It's a building artifact. Players cannot declare attacks during each upkeep. All players gain 5 life and adds 1 mana of any color. Mana added by the prior effect is not lost in any way until it is spent. All right, these are all perfectly legal Magic the Gathering cards. David is like, I'm putting 20 of these in my next deck and cheating while my opponent is reading the flavor text. What the hell? So basically, oh yeah, I see. You load your deck with flavor text to distract the opponent. Interesting strategy. Let's see how that pays off. Okay, we have a big super chat from Darth Taurus for $10. 2 curses, which are 2 cards. A Compound Fracture and TM Trainer with token V3. Let's see what this. Okay, we have Compound Fracture. Oh, I'm an idiot. I hate when I mistype something, you know? Okay, Compound Fracture. This is basically 1 mana because there's 2 Frex in here. It's an aura enchant creature. When an enchant creature deals combat damage to a creature you don't control, you get to roll a d4. Compound Fracture then deals 1 damage to X other creatures you don't control, where X is the result. Oh, so... Enchanted creature deals combat damage. When an enchanted creature deals combat damage to a creature, we then roll the d4. Deals 1 damage to the other creatures you don't control, where X is the result. Okay, oh yeah, d4s exist. It's like this pyramid thing. I've seen it. So you roll a 4 and you just blast everything else for 4 damage. And this is like for 1 mana. 1 mana, 4 life, potentially board wipe the game over and over again, but it's only whenever it deals damage to a creature you don't control. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Because, like, they could just let it through. I mean, if it's, like, one of those pingers, like, that could be a problem. But again, you just kill the creature in response, don't you? You kill the creature in response, and then we have TM Trainer with token version 3. This is looks like a 2-sided card here. It's either look, it has Winter Fox vibes because it's 5 colorless mana, or it's Wooburg. Legendary enchantment. All it needs is snow. Whenever I see the colorless mana symbol now, I just think Winter Fox. That's just how it is for me. Compound Fracture is a real card name, but it's an arena card, to be fair. Oh, well, you gotta keep those names off. You gotta look up those names to see if it's ever been done. Okay, we got for Wooburg or 5 colorless. It's a legendary enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose 3 abilities among any non-land, non-token permanent on the battlefield. Then create a colorless glitched artifact token named Glitched Item with the chosen ability, and tap. Target creature gains all other abilities from this permanent until end of turn. Choose 3 abilities among non-land, non-token permanents on the battle. This is really hard to think of. Like, this is, I don't understand this. Whoops, this is the wrong one. I don't get it. Am I up? And this happens every turn. Choose 3 abilities among non-land, non-token permanent on the battlefield. So the creatures, enchantments, artifacts. I get a glitched artifact token with those abilities and tap. Target creature gains all other abilities from this permanent. I don't understand. What does it mean? You get all other abilities from this permanent. Isn't it just... Okay, that's what confused me. Target creature just gains all abilities from this... gains all abilities from this permanent until end of turn. Correct? It's just gain all abilities, not all other ones. Oh, I see. All other than this one, because it could then tap and gain abilities. Okay, I get it. God damn it. It was so difficult to understand. Then we got the twitched. Sorry, not the twitched. The glitched item. Do I have a glitch sound effect? I do not. Tap, target creature gains all other abilities from this permanent until end of turn. All other abilities that were given to it that turn. I'm not digging this MTM trainer. It's like an Audric, but too many words. You custom card people. There is no such thing as too many words for all of you. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Corbinek. 3 cards today. Thank you so much, Corbinek. I appreciate it. Posting some power, sort of. Skitter Mind of the Swarm. Okay, the first one is a green, white, black, 1 generic, 0/4. A legendary creature, parahuman. It's disgusting. Insects in play get +X/+X, where X is this card's power. Insects in play have Ward 1 and Infect. Oh my god. It's the last thing anyone needs to hear. Oh, they all have Infect. There's like a lot of insect generators out there too. So all of a sudden you just attack with all of them and you just need to deal 10 to the opponent. Pay 3, create a 2/2 insect token with flying and Infect. Hold on, why do you have to give it Infect again? Doesn't this card already give it Infect, or you just want something that permanently gives Infect? That doesn't sound like a very fun card to play against, Corbinek. Doesn't sound like a very fun card. Nikachu, we are helping you learn words and sentence structure. Yeah, thank you very much. I need it. I'm like almost 40 years old. Where am I going to use this? I'm not going to become a Wizards of the Coast designer. That dream has come and sailed. Not that I even dreamed about it. Sounds terrible to me to become a part of Wizards of the Coast R&D, because then I can't play tournaments anymore. That's not toxic. That's toxic, not Infect. Infect. It says Infect. Literally just says Infect. I don't know what you're talking about. If she leaves the field, it would lose Infect. That's the point! So you give your opponent some chance to interact with the insect creatures. Otherwise, this is insane. I mean, I would not have a problem playing against it. It just sounds like other people would. What's another one you got here? We've got the Mannequin. I swear that's a real card name. The Mannequin. Version 2. I'm assuming you want version 2 on here. 4 mana for a 5/5 legendary artifact creature human. Pay 2. Search your deck for an equipment, reveal it, and add it to your hand. That seems absolutely broken. Just that ability alone is insane card event. It doesn't even tap to do it. It's just 2 mana. So if you have infinite mana, you can pay... Well, infinite mana, you could win the other way. But 4 mana, and just look for all your equipments and put them into your hand. Pay 2. Attach target equipment to this card. It has Shroud as long as it's attached to this card. Pay 3. Destroy target non-artifact human. You gotta be kidding me! Create a 2/2 artifact token with Vigilance. At the beginning of your end step, if there are no other creatures besides this creature in play, exchange control with target opponent. Get it out of here! No way.
No, God, please, no!
Yeah, it's over, Mannequin. I have the high ground now. It's absolutely insane. It just kept getting more powerful the longer we looked on. Yeah, not even a tap. If they were tap effects, you know, this is a completely different deal. It's just pay mana and go crazy. This card seems glitched. There's some sort of typo in the Wizards of the Coast processing plant over here. So how did they print this damn thing? There's not even colon for this card. Anyway, yeah, it's supremely broken. Not a chance, Corbinic, not a chance. And Endbringer Leviathan. Are you combining Leviathan with Endbringer? Version 2. If you add tap to all those cards, Corbinic, it's probably fine. I said there was... you did warn us. You did warn us in advance. All right, it's blue, 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 4 generic for a legendary Endbringer. Protection from green and white and Island Walk. Pay 2. Target land becomes basic island. This is a little bit more tolerable at this point of the game. Discard a card. This card phases out. You may return it to play at any time you could cast an instant. That sounds wrong. Like, that just breaks the I don't like that it just breaks the phasing rules. It should just be like, discard a card, phases out, and then that's it. If this card is played from a graveyard or exile, destroy all lands its controller. What? If this card is played from a graveyard? Oh, it's a graveyard or exile, comma, destroy all lands its controller has in play. Its controller can't play lands as long as it remains in play. Well, you balanced it out that way. Honestly, I don't think it's that broken. It probably, maybe even with the discard thing and keeping it in play is totally fine. It's a really resource-intensive card. Does have protection from green and white, though. Phase out creatures don't leave play, so they don't return when they phase in. But you're not wrong. You know what? We done need that badges. You're not wrong around here. Okay, what is a custom card show without the wonderful Majra? Part 7 of the Sapta Sagara. Oops, where am I going? Sapta Sagara. Part 7. We be having some merfolk around here. Unfortunately, I can't show you any modification from the last part I made. Hope you like your travel and even the 7 seas. I love the 7 seas. Okay, we got some island fishy merfolk around here. 4 mana, 3/3 Siren Scout Wizard. That's not a merfolk. What I gather is the sirens, they're like the evil merfolk. They want to draw you in with their beauty and then drown you. Flash. When Sapta Sargarian Coastal Guard enters, surveil 1, then draw a card. Like the value. Landfall. Whenever a land enters under your control, create a map token. If you control 7 or more lands, exile up to 1 target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control instead. This feels like such a commander card. I think it's perfectly designed. This literally looks like a commander card. It looks exactly like a Wizards of the Coast approved Magic the Gathering card. Oh, we got a random fish here. The Sapta Sargarian fish. It's a blue 1/1. It also has Island Walk, which is very flavorful. All the fish should have Island Walk. After all, it's where they live. Sacrifice Sapta Sargarian fish. Attacking creature gets -X, -0 until end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your hand plus 2. I would never play it. we're like just shrinking the opponent's stuff. Okay, Sapta Sargarian Magus, 3 mana, 3/3 Siren Wizard. When Sapta Sargarian Magus enters, return another target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. All right, first you see it, now you don't. I've been waiting for effects like this for forever. It's a Siren Wizard. I didn't know that. Look how masculine this siren is. Very strong and beefy. Whenever I see images of sirens, they're crazy looking. Nolan just reached the mannequin card. Mannequin's freaking me out. All right, we got the Sapta Sargarian Recycler. We got for Dimir. It's a 2/2 Siren Scout with Island Walk. Whenever Sapta Sargarian Recycler deals combat damage to a player, exile a card from any graveyard and create a treasure token. If you exiled a land or artifact card this way. If you exiled a land or artifact this way. This is a fantastic card. I like this one. It is, it's a creature while also being a form of ramp and also graveyard hate. I think I would play this in my Merfolk deck, even though it's not a Merfolk. I like the little sort of tunes thing we got going on over here. And lastly, the Saptor-Sigurian Safety Kiss. We all need a safe kiss around here. Careful! They might pull you down. Okay, this is a 4-mana sorcery with Foretell of 2. We gone back to Foretell? I thought you have your own sort of you have your own mechanic based around this. It's gonna demonstrate and scry 2, surveil 1, draw 2 cards. Surveil 2. We're scrying, then we're dumping a card into our graveyard. That's a lot of power. I'm pretty sure that this is fine though. This is breaking MTG rules? How? There's nothing wrong. Oh, the kissing? Okay, that's not allowed in Magic. Okay, that's the rule. Oh yeah, I forgot. No kissing allowed. We got some. We got lips. Lips are touching lips. The marketing. Can we get like a new? We need a new art on here. Someone get the head designer. Who approved this? We're already halfway into the secret layer over here. Yeah. So if anyone doesn't know the meme, like recently I brought the attention that there's like no lips on lips touching of two like the best we have is like a drawing. Technically they're all drawings, I understand, but it's like it's an art of a drawing of two creatures kissing. That's the closest we got. Everything else is no lippy touchies. Sometimes when lips touch other lips, that does not mean kissing. What you doing like what's it called? CP. What are you doing? CPR? Sticky fingers? There's a secret layer of two dudes kissing. They're not kissing. There's no kissing happening. They might be snuggling. They might be close. There's no kissing. All right. We've been through this. We've been there, done that. We looked at all the cards. No kissing allowed. Okay, next up. We've got. Oh my god. Did you super chat so we could read the rest of your thing? All right, we go look at your but what was it called? Winter Fox. And now I think you've overpaid. Okay, hold on. What was your it was okay, hold on. Maybe I can look up users now. User Winter Fox. Shoot. I don't know what you're called here. Maybe you posted it into the present. Winter Fox. What was your post called? I'm hoping it's here. Oh, is it this? Okay, I found it. Yeah, you did post recently. Okay, we're gonna read the Stonegate Mountain Hold rations. We're gonna read the flavor text here. The salted pork strips, dwarven hard biscuits, and a large bottle of high-quality aged dwarven brandy. Perfect for a boost of energy when traveling underground. What do you mean, dwarves only make and drink ale? We are much more sophisticated than that. Harold Iron Hands, captain of the guard. I guess when you drink, what do they say? They drink brandy. Brandy gives you 8 life. At least that's how it feels when they drink it. Okay, and then the next up, we've got the Heroes Feast Tavern. There is always a feast for many, but the most jovial and hardy often spread tales of valor, glory, and comedy. We welcome you to the Heroes Feast, where the adventurers gather, the heroes sing, and the essence of food and drink overcome all conflicts, and merry is made all night long. Yeah, they're having a party. Come, we have food for everybody. We're having a wedding. That's a lot of life. It is quite a bit of life. For 1 mana at that. 1 mana gain 8. Yeah, the last card is 1 mana gain 8 life. And you just have to sack it. And you prevent damage. So you prevent probably like 8 damage from something else, gain 8 life. That's like a 16-point life swing. Okay, next up. Let's take a look at let's take one from The Damn Draws. Who's making broken cards stay broken. Okay, Perry Air. Perry Air and Planet Druidia. Oh! Love it! What the hell is this? Okay, Planet. Okay, this is Planet Druidia. Is this this is Perry Air. Okay, let's look at Perry Air first. Okay, this is another Spaceballs reference. So I'm very sorry to anyone who has never seen Spaceballs. You can't get this thing. 2 mana. It's also a food. We have a lot of food on this show today. Sacrifice, parry air, add white or blue, and gain 2 life. And then also, 2 mana, sack it. It's basically an interesting mana rock. I like this. And then next up, we've got also Planet Druidia. It's a legendary land. It enters the battlefield tapped. It adds Azorius mana, sort of white or a blue. Pay 2, tap. Create a tapped parry air token, food token with sacrifice parry air. Add blue or white and gain 2 life. Yeah, create a tap parry. Oh, I think that's a banger card. That's a banger. This is beautiful. It's a different color banana token. True, actually, that's true. Winter Fox has some comments. Can't. Rations more than just food. Also, it's going to be an important subtype for my Dream Mirror set synergies. Rations are more important than the fooding. Okay, next up, let's take a look at... Oh, Islarf has some cards today. Some custom cards I made in the past. 3 of them are inspired by Borderlands. Okay, what if I look up Borderlands? Cool. Let's take a look at them, Islarf. We got Stormtide Kraken, a blue 3 generic, 5/4. Other sea monsters you control get +1/+1. Is there literally a creature type called sea monsters? Or do you define sea monsters? Kraken, Leviathan, octopuses, and sea... Okay, you define it at the bottom over here. When Stormtide Kraken attacks, you may pay double blue. If you do, sea monsters you control can't be blocked this turn by combat. Perfectly fine card. Perfect. It's actually a reasonably costed Kraken. Most Krakens are like a bazillion mana. So for 5 mana, I think this is really good. This new keyword now. Did we misspell serpents? We need spell check, don't we? Microsoft Word. You know what? Microsoft Word, it costs money. Do you know what doesn't cost money? Google, what's it called? Google Word? Google Docs. That's free. I don't understand actually how Microsoft is in business when Google just has like almost all the same baseline programs that cost nothing. Just have a Google account. Okay, we got FL4K, the Beastmaster, for 6 mana. It's a 4/2 Vault Hunter robot. Now, as FL4K enters the battlefield, choose a creature type among spider, dinosaur, monkey, or golem. During your turn, if a triggered ability of another creature you control with the chosen type triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. Whenever a creature you control of the chosen type blocks or becomes blocked, FL4K deals damage equal to its power to the blocked or blocking creature. Give in to the Bloodlust Beast. Give in. An audiobook? I have a YouTube channel. It's basically like an audiobook. All of these things. I'm pretty sure the FL4K is supposed to be Flack. Oh, is it spelled in Leet form? As Flack enters the battlefield, we choose a creature type between 4 of them. If a triggered ability of the chosen type would trigger, it triggers more times than that. I don't understand the flavor of here. This makes no damn sense. What the hell does this hunter robot have to do with a spider, a dinosaur, a golem, and a monkey? These creature types could not be further apart around here. We have Aurelia, the Baroness. Is this like an alternate reality Magic the Gathering universe? 5 mana for a 5/3 Vault Hunter Noble. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, for each snow spent to cast it, deal that much damage to any target. Whenever Aurelia deals damage to a permanent, tap it and put a stun counter on it. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah. This is freeze in hell, Batman. I think this should be more common. I think almost all snow creatures, when they interact with another creature, should stun them. This is not a snow creature, but like the concept makes sense to me. You get frozen, right? So this is a good card. John, a Hyperion Programmer, a 5 mana 3/5 human scientist. Pay 3, sack an artifact, create X tapped Power Stone tokens, where X is the sacrificed artifact's mana value. I've never found value in Power Stone tokens, so that's a pass. Ooh, I love this. This is one of my favorite arts. Song of the Magpies. That is not what this art is from, but it's good enough for me. Blue instant. Counter target spell with mana value greater than the number of lands controlled by its controller. Oh, then you create a 2/2 bird creature token. We get the bird token. Mana value greater than. I love this card. Punish those people playing with those dual lands or artifact ramp or something. You want to cheat cards in play? Bam! Song of the Magpies, and that's a song that I can sing to sleep. It's not that specific, honestly. So it's counter target spell with mana value greater than the number of lands controlled by. So like if you cast something off of Soul Ring, mana rocks, treasures, countered. I'm gonna counter you. Yeah, exactly. As a ramp player, boo. Yeah. Oh yeah. You all the ramp players. You be hating. You be hating here. No. You hate. You're the ones ramping. You're the ones cheating on the mana around here. You should be ramping the good old-fashioned way with Farseek. Yeah, take that green. It hits everybody though. Everyone plays with mana rocks to some degree. Do you have a 2-mana mana rock? Song of the Magpies. Just make sure you've got, so for all your most important spells, make sure you have enough lands for them. I like this card. I think this is fun. This would absolutely see tons of play in competitive Magic, so. I don't like counter spells in general, so that one punishes greedy ramp is okay. We got approval by people who even hate counter spells. Next up, we don't need burgers. Leyline of Unshuffling. This makes no damn sense. I watched a video of someone cheating in a CDH match and thought, what if there was a card to stop a deck stapper? So what you like can't, you're not allowed to shuffle? 7-mana enchantment. If Leyline of Unshuffling is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. At the start of any turn, exile Leyline of Unshuffling. Each player deals all cards from the top of their library into X stacks, where X is equal to the number of cards in their hand. Then each player puts 1 card from their hand on the bottom of each stack. Players return the stacks to the top of their library in any order and draw 7 cards. Okay, so this is, I don't know. Each player puts 1 card from their hand on the bottom of each stack. Players return the stacks to the top of their library. This is a weird way to potentially, like, I don't know, stop cheating. You know what's another way to stop cheating? Players can't search their library. That's it. No searching. That's it. Searching is banned. But Leyline of Unshuffling, this card's fine too. Is that it? Yeah, that was it. The Leyline of Unshuffling. You stop deck stacking by calling them out. Yeah, you can stop that too. Hey, what do you do over there? Hey, I saw that. That was on camera too. You probably want to use the word piles instead of stacks. Yeah, probably. That's more of a technical term in Magic the Gathering. We put them in piles. We pile our stuff. Good enough for me. Okay, next up. Let's take a look at Brawly Shadow with the Talia. There are 2 different cards of the same character. Talia. Whoops. Oh, whoops. Can I stop that one? Okay, hold on. Where'd that go? Okay, next one is going to be Majra Superchat 100%. Okay, 3 mana. Talia. This is a 2/4 human shaman with Mountain Walk and Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, create a 0/3 colorless wall creature token with Defender. Spells and abilities you control that target 1 or more lands cost 1 less to cast or activate. So we get Landfall. We're making effectively walls. We have Mountain Walk, by the way, which can be relevant. You people are bringing Landwalk back. You know, that's not even an evergreen ability anymore. Spells and abilities you control that target 1 or more lands cost 1 less. So I think, so here's the deal. If you're using this on lands you control, that looks fair and fine. If you're using this on lands other people control. That looks dangerous. So basically, like, land destruction is infinitely more cheaper than it was before. Yoshu asked, does land walk creatures even get printed anymore? No, they don't actually. So I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago. Mark Rosewater said that Landwalk's no longer an evergreen mechanic, and it's been cut out because people hate feeling punished for playing their like basic lands. It's like, oh, I play a basic land. I play basic mountain. Oh, I can't block the Talia, the Stoneweaver. Well, that's stupid. You teach me how to block in this game. Now I can't even block. It's like it creates feel bad moments. So Landwalk is like a sort of thing these days. I have no problem with it. Hot take, Landwalk should go back with a vengeance. All right. I have no problem with this. More Island Walk Lords for the future. More Island Walk Lords for the island, for the Landwalk god. Aren't there cards that do things based on how many creatures with Defender are in play? Probably. New players are too coddled by Wizards of the Coast. Commander in particular is a joke. Well, you say it's a joke, but they're making bank on this Commander thing, you know. And also other games are trying to emulate Commander the best that they can. Commander looks like a joke to competitive players. But then to Wizards of the Coast, it's like 99% of our money is from Commander. So screw the competitive players, basically. I'm surprised you say. I'm surprised, you know, we got people here saying Commander is a joke. Are you? I imagined all of you are Commander players. Yeah, money. Okay, what do I have to say about? I have no idea how strong or broken this card is. I'll give it a pass, but it's possible the second ability is really more stronger than we think it is. Then we have Talia, the Trailblazer. This is a 5-mana 3/5 human shaman. Ward, sacrifice a land. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may sacrifice a land, and if you do, Talia explores. We might find that land again. Whenever a land you control enters the battlefield, Talia deals 1 damage to any target. This is 100% super fair. Maybe too fair around here. I love how Nolan is like clearly 20 minutes behind the stream. You know, there's like a live button that you can click and you get right back to like where it's live. Or Nolan just likes to start the show like where it started and then leave comments ages behind. Oh my god, Hello says, I play Commander because everyone around me only wants to play Commander, but I strongly dislike it. That's so weird. I have some competitive friends that moved to Commander, so I play Commander now a little bit here and there just to hang out with them. But overall, I wonder how many people play Commander now just because they're like forced out of competitive Magic. It's a good question. It makes me wonder now. Makes me wonder. Thanks for submitting the cards. They're very interesting. The first one is very interesting. It could be anything. All right. Oh, here's Maja's card. There we go. Part 8 of the Septa Sagaria. Sorry, Septa Sagara. All right, we got for Sultai. It's an instant. Put a lifelink counter on target siren you control. Then put a death touch counter on target siren you control. We can diversify these counters, I suppose. Creatures you control gain whenever a creature with a counter deals combat damage to a player. Put a snare from your graveyard into your hand until end of turn. So if anyone doesn't know, Majra made a series of cards called snares, which effectively are like morphs for enchantments. So, like something to that effect. So anyway, this is a completely fine card. We got the Septa Sagarian Tactician. This is very similar to the last one. Wasn't he like bending backwards? I got it here. Oh, maybe bending forwards? No, I guess it was this guy. He was bending forwards. Now he's like sort of stood up. But I think it's the same character. Morph for artifact. I thought it was some enchantments too. Okay, so so the Tactician is a 4-mana 3/3 siren with flash. And it's got Ward 1. Face down artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast and can be cast as though they had flash. Very good. I think this is a great enabler for your ability. Face down artifact spells. So, like, face down artifact spells. I'm just trying to think. Do they have morph for any artifacts? I think they have some. I think there's some artifact creatures with morph. So you could this card could actually be used with it. Okay, next up. We got the Sap the Sigarian Warrior, a 4-mana 2/2 Siren Warrior with trample. Whenever you cast a trap or turn a snare face up, because they're basically all trap cards, put a +1/+1 counter on Sap the Sigarian Warrior. And lastly, the Sapta isn't it supposed to be Sapta Sagara or is Sapta Saga's Hunter? Did I find a typo in your own cards? Or is this like a short form? The Sapta Saga's Hunter. Okay, this is a green-black 2/2 Siren Scout Warrior with Wither. People love Wither, don't they? Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a map token. Whenever you control 7 or more lands, create a food token instead. All right, that's totally fine. Pejman, I super chatted 10 for 4 cards. He missed the first post. Was 2 curses. Oh, I'll get that. Okay. Well, we got this one. It was called 2 curses. I might have gotten confused. If I ever miss something, you just shout it out. We can go back. We get it. We got plenty of time. These shows are like 2 hours long. All right. Curse of the Unknown. This is a blue Azorius, white, 3 generic, or a curse. It enchants a player, though. At the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, they roll a d6. You like rolling dice around here, don't you, Darth Taurus? You didn't need to do it again. I just read it. I just read it in chat. Oh no, I see. I read the second one. Okay, you get a free one. So just make sure. So you didn't have to pay for this one because you paid for it already. So you just let me know you get another super chat of some sort. Okay, let me read this one. You roll a d6 at the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep. Until their next upkeep, enchantment, sorcery, and instant spells they cast gain Convoke and cost X more to cast, where X is the result. Oh, okay, so you make it a little bit more expensive. Well, this is totally fine. I think this is very underwhelming, actually. This is like, it's expensive. It's 7 mana. Oh, it's interesting. So you are making some of their it's a big tax, but it's cheaper if they have creatures. So maybe it's fair because this is an outrageous tax. Or a really outrageous tax. All right, that seems fair enough. It'd be terrible to get that curse on you. Curse of the Maze. This is a 5 mana aura curse. Enchant player. At the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, they exile. Hold on. Their exile and graveyard swap unless enchanted player pays 4 and discards a card. What the hell is this? I'm gonna switch my exile zone and my graveyard. Crackling Drake doesn't care what gets swapped or what happens. David said getting Bobby Fischer vibes. Let me look. I'm a huge chess player. I see a little bit. It's not that strong. I don't think Bobby Fischer had any wings in the background, that's for sure. Okay. It will switch every turn, though. So, like, even if you don't pay the 4, like, it's just going to swap again. It just keeps alternating. Almost like you phase your graveyard in, you phase your graveyard out. Phase your graveyard in, phase your graveyard out. And in replacement, you get, like, an exile zone. Okay, next up. We're going to donate to whoever. All right, we're going to give some donations at the end. Thank you very much. And sorry about that, Darth Shadow. Okay, now let's take a look at the dinky super chats. The small ones, but they're also important after all. Okay, Bryce, my card is Wizards print a card like this. Wizards print a card like this. Oh, what is this? My card is... I can't find it. It doesn't exist. My card is Wizards. Print a card like this. Print a card like this. I have no idea what this is, Bryce. If you can give me some like heads up how what I'm looking for, maybe I'll look for it later. Okay, moving on to Rob. The Utter Solitude. I give that super chat. I like need new super chat sound effects. The Utter Solitude. Ooh, a quadruple black. It must be dark and dangerous. Nikachu, I think you missed a Majra card. Did I? God. Okay, I'm gonna finish this one off. I'm missing a lot of cards today. I'm too distracted by chat. Chat is distracting me heavy, big time. Okay, black. Okay, black. World enchantment. Players don't lose the game for having 0 less life. Each player's life total becomes negative 2,000. Whenever spells are cast, permanents are put into play and cards are drawn. Their controller gains 20 life for each of those cards. During each player's upkeep, that player loses the game if he or she has 20 or more life. Also for quadruple black, target player gains 20 life. Any player may play this ability. Okay, hold on. I'm bringing out Nikachu's calculator. We need the calculator out. Okay, Nikachu's calculator is back. So basically, we're at 2,000 life. Whenever spells are cast, permanents are put into play and cards are drawn. Their controller gains 20 life for each of those cards. So for every game action. So we start at 2,000 divided by 20. We have basically 100 life in game actions between casting things and so on. That's how this card works. It seems like some Yu-Gi-Oh style unnecessary extra 0. Well, yeah, it could be true. I guess the idea is so that you can't accidentally kill someone with life gain. Some people like their life gain. Anyway, okay, Utter Solitude. I think it's fine, actually. It's very interesting. Basically say, okay, you have 100 game actions and then it's over. It might prolong the game for a very long time, though. Hold on, wait a minute. Isn't there a problem here? It should probably say something like, if Utter Solitude is destroyed, each player gains 2,000 life. Because like what happens is each player life total becomes minus 2,000. If you destroy the Utter Solitude, everyone dies. Play this, set your life back to above 0, sack this card, win. Yeah, I don't know how you get it above, but like, because if you, each player, that player loses the game if they have 20 or more life. Yeah, so basically you have to gain 2,001 life, effectively. Negative 2,000 life brings to 0 life. Yeah. So if you sacrifice this thing, so long as you're at negative, everyone's dead. What happens if you lose half your life? You can't lose half your life if you have no life to lose. So losing half of negative 500 life, I think, makes you lose nothing. Killing everyone when the enchantment dies is a feature, not a bug. Could be true. Could be true. Okay, let's take a look at Sapta Sagara. The last one. Did I miss 2 of them? Did I miss all of them? Okay, we saw this a warrior. Okay, I think I missed 2 cards. The Sapta Sagarian War Singer. Blue-green, 2/2 vigilance. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, other sirens you control get +1/+1 and trample until end of turn. It's very strong. Actually, it's not that strong. Maybe it is a very strong lord effect. They need lords. The sirens have nothing. The Sapta Sagarian Hunter. Oh, I saw the Hunter. I missed the Siren. Sorry, the War Singer. Gotcha. I missed the War Singer. That was the problem. Okay, next up. Let's take a look at one from Brawly Shadow. Oh, I did Talia. Damn. I got excited for a second. Then let's do one from Dr. Madness, giving a free card to somebody. Oh, you're so kind, Dr. Madness. You're definitely going to make somebody's day. Okay, I'm going to close my eyes. Hold on, which way we're going? We're going to go up where it lands. Nobody, I don't even know where it lands. All right, where do we stop? We stopped at the arms strong user. And we're going to take a look at quick response. You got to be fast in this game. For a white 1 generic instant, destroy target tap creature. If that creature is a spirit, exile it instead. That is a perfectly fine, legitimate Magic of the Gathering card. Okay, next up, we're going to take one from... Who hasn't got a card yet? I don't think Surefire Selves got a card yet so far today. We're going to look at all the Super Chats, but I'm trying to go do a little bit of a rotation here. Shattered Divinities finally made it today. Finally. I feel like you never left Surefire Selves. Your presence is always felt here. Divinities. Shattered. Maybe I should just look up Shattered. The Shattered Divinities. White, white, black, black for a Kindred enchantment spirit. Whenever a non-token creature enters, its controller creates a 0/1 spirit that's a copy of that creature, except it's not legendary and loses indestructible, so it's vulnerable. Whenever a non-land permanent leaves the battlefield, exile all other permanents with the same name as that permanent? Oh, I see. So you kill one, you kill all. Interesting. When your name is lost, where will your soul go? Great flavor text, in my opinion. Okay, next up, let's take one from 4 Paths of Life Beyond the Eternities. Part X, the 5th essence and the rest. Let's see. Beyond the Eternities. Holy moly. Okay, here's the key terms. I don't feel like reading these things right now. Color void. Remember color void. And also remember revert and color counters and so on. Okay, next. Okay, so what are we're looking at? Well, we're not looking at any of these. What are the instructions? The 5th essence and the rest? I think we're looking at all this stuff. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, we got Embodied Angels. Twin Echo for colorless, and 4 generic. It is a 4/4 Spirit Angel. Adversary to Eldrazi's and Phyrexians. During combat, other spirits with the void are indestructible. Oh god. Tap, regenerate target spirit with the void. If you do, place a counter of any color on it and Embodied Angels Twin Echo. If Embodied Angels Twin Echo has 5 different color counters on it, we get to transform it. But not yet, because if Embodied Angels Twin Echo would leave the battlefield, exile it instead. Well, exiled this way, you may cast it by paying colorless and 3 generic. All right, we can transform it into the Quintessential Echo of Sarah and Elspeth. It's a 6 mana Spirit Angel, Quintessential Echo of Sarah and Elspeth. And spirits you control with the void have adversary to Eldrazi and Phyrexian. +1. Create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token with flying and devoid. All creatures you control are indestructible until your next upkeep. -3 until your next upkeep, as long as you control a creature. Damage that would reduce your life total less than 1 reduces it to 1 instead. So basically, we got a worship on this thing. And then -9. You gain an emblem with you may remove this emblem. You may remove this emblem, destroy all opponents, colored creatures, and planeswalkers. Revert Quintessential Echo of Sarah and Elspeth. I feel like there's too many words on this card. This is like the wordiest card we've read all day. Maybe only because Dimitri isn't here today. I haven't seen Dimitri in chat. For Kink is like, I am playtesting my first AI bingo card during previous 6 AI streams. I didn't get a single bingo, so we were actually super lucky. That's amazing. We need a custom card bingo for Ginkgo. We need a custom card bingo. I mean, hey, it's the luck of the draw, where there's no guarantee you're going to get a bingo on any day. Any spirit cards with Devoid? Oh, don't worry. The damn draws... Oh, sorry, not... 4 Paths of Life will make it. We'll conjure it up into existence. Okay, we got the Ethereal Crossplane. It's a legendary land. While it's not in the library, Ethereal Crossplane is treated as though it is a basic land for all spells and abilities. And also tap, it's treated as though it's a basic land. Tap, add a colorless. Whenever another basic land enters, which can be Ethereal Crossplane, put a counter on of any color on this card. If it has 5 different color counters, transform Ethereal Crossplane into... What are we gonna transform into? The QAE Reality Currents. Did we see this one? Maybe I saw something very similar. The QAE something else. Legendary land. While it is not in the library, QAE Reality Currents is treated as though it is a basic land for all spells and abilities. Tap, add 1 colorless or 1 mana of any color. While it's not, is it only while it's not in the library? Is that how it works? Okay, I can get behind that. You know what? I misread that one. I misinterpreted it as it is a basic land in the deck, so therefore you could like fetch it out. Okay. Tap, add a colorless or 1 mana of any color. Pay 1 tap, put a counter of any color on target card on the battlefield or in exile. Pay 2, shuffle QAE Reality Currents into the library and add an amazing amount of mana. It's like double Wooburg and double colorless. This card is insane. If whenever another basic land enters, put a counter of any color on this card. But it's just ramp. So it just taps. It's treated as though it is a basic land, but didn't specify what kind of basic land. Okay, I actually think I can get behind this thing. I actually think because the enabling this is not so easy. You literally do it. Doesn't need to be. You need to put like a bunch of basics on the battlefield to get to the other side. Whenever a basic land enters, put a color of any color on this card. Counter of any color on this card if it has 5 different colors. Yeah, okay. Guess it dodges non-basic land destruction. Dodges Blood Moon. It's a basic. Doesn't look that bait. Why don't you just call it basic land? I don't think it would break the game. But then you don't want it to be fetched out. Yeah, I understand. Okay, what's the next card in all this? The Essence of Change in Nature. Quadruple green or quadruple colorless. Essence, devoid. The controller of Essence of Change in Nature gains the green Essence emblem if that player doesn't already have it. This ability can't be lost, countered, replaced, or modified. Non-land, non-token perms you control and cards you own in your hand, graveyard, and exile have Tincture Green, and you may spend green or colorless for this card's mana cost to cast or activate the abilities. What is Tincture again? You may spend color. Oh yeah, you can spend colorless for this card's mana cost to cast or activate the abilities. They get the emblem. Okay, this is the emblem. Ugh. You have too many cards that are like, okay, with this card, we have to now read this card. And this is like, well, I don't think this is broken. This is insanely wordy. It's like reading out a page out of a magazine. Remove this emblem if you do not control Essence of Change in Nature. Non-land, non-token perms you control and cards you own in the hand or graveyard are green in addition to its other colors. You gain the following abilities based on the number of green cards you own in exile. +1, green permanent cards. Green perms you control have protection from the opponent's green? My green has protection from your green. Green creatures you control have reach. Green permanents you control have hexproof from blue and black. Green creatures you control have trample and evolve. +3, non-token green cards you control. Non-token green cards you own anywhere have protection from opponent's blue and from opponent's black. Green creatures you control have changeling and toxic 1. Green cards you own have convoke. Green permanents you control have tap, add a green to this card's mana value. I think this one's pushed. The control of Essence gets an emblem if they were going to have it. I think this card's pushed. Okay, if that card is pushed, I think this card is maybe a little too broken. +1 is like innocent and fine, and then it starts just going off the rails very, very quickly. Yeah, I saw Bryce fix the super chat, but I was in the middle of another super chat. Be sure to read the last text on the keywords. What is the last text on the keywords? You mean the adversary text? For each list type, if a card of that type is on the battlefield, this card gains +1/+1. So this card can't be damaged, destroyed, or exiled by abilities, instant spells or sorcery spells of listed types. If the card attacks a permanent that is any of the listed types, double any damage this card deals. That sounds broken. What happened for Pass of Life? You just made like a bunch of insanely broken cards. No below that. That was crazy. Well, it looks like I needed to read the adversary 2 type. Okay, these are keywords introduced in the Beyond Eternity set. Apply to all 40 cards and associated token and emblem cards. Please refer to this card when reading or playing cards from this set. Thank you for your consideration and appreciation. P.S. Next set will be named Paradox World. Stay tuned. Set went out with a bang. Wait, is this like a sealed? It's like a sealed environment. +4 your green creature is still a land. It's still a land. You have the PS note at the very end. Okay, let's go look at Bryce's card. Bryce I fixed it. It's called Wizards Print This. Thank you so much. Wizards Print This. There we go. This creature of many colors. And it's a 4-mana 3/4 legendary creature. It's got no creature type, just like an AI generated card. Choose a color before the game begins. The creature of many colors is the chosen color. Legendary partner. Choose a color before the game begins. Sounds like a draft card. Legendary partner. You can have 2 commanders as long as the other one is legendary. You can have 2 commanders. Well, the other one has to be legendary, though. I don't get it. So is this the idea? Is this just like a free... This is like a free commander, right? Is that what I'm gathering here? It's basically, it's free. So you can partner this with anything. You can give it whatever color pie. So basically, so you can combine it, I guess, also with like, let's say you want white and you play Simic. Like, I need white somehow. The creature of many colors. More broken than Black Lotus. Partners with any free color. Yeah, basically. It sounds absolutely... It goes against the spirit of designing anything in Commander. It's technically... It might even be considered broken. Because you give non-partner creatures access to a random color that they're not supposed to have. And it completely breaks the color pie. Or breaks... Sorry, not the color pie. Breaks the Commander identity. Yeah, partners with anything free color. To the Urank with this card, Bryce. To the Urank. They would never make this card. Definitely. Yeah, giving attracts access to red. Or whatever is the missing color. The missing color to every deck. 4 color decks now finally become Wooburg. My mono blue deck can get access to green for no reason at all. Alright, let's take a look at... Any singular super chats we haven't got through? Azaloth, thank you so much for your super chat. The Elixir Vitae. So we have the Elixir Vitae and the Lazarus device. I don't see... Can I look up the Elixir? This card does not exist. The Lazarus... I have the Lazarus device. I can't find the Elixir. But you only super chatted for 1 anyway, so... You will get this 1 card. The one I could find. Okay, we have a 6-mana legendary artifact. Tap, you gain 3 life. Nothing wrong with gaining life in this world. Pay 1, sacrifice the Lazarus device. If a player has left the game, create a new player controlled by a person outside the game. Ah, you're brought back to life, I suppose. You get another shot. Whoops. They started the game with 5 life, draw 3 cards at the beginning of their first turn. All right, you're back. Limited quantities of ability, but you're back. David's like, it's still land. But when he did, he changed the world. You gotta be careful. You know, you might regret bringing them back into the game. Oh, did I not revert? Hold on, what does this look like? Oh. Hold on. It's not centered again. Okay, it's centered. You do? This still opens no color identities? What the oh, you mean with Wizard's print? Because it's 4 generic? Choose a color before the game. The creature of many colors is the chosen color. I think it does. I think it does. I'm not entirely sure, but I assume it does. Legendary partner, is this from another card? Legendary partner, you can have 2 commanders if this is one of them. The other one is promoted to legendary. I don't know. Almost a group hug card. Oh, from the yeah, the last card we just looked at. I think it was sort of a group hug card. You can't die. You can't die forever. If you die, you can come back. Okay, next up. I'm trying to look who hasn't got a super chat through. I think everyone's got something. So next up, we'll take a look at We Done Need Badgers. Okay, we got Aggro Craig. Thank you so much. Not sure if this would be bad for the format or a bad idea in general. I don't know what it is about the art. I like it. I like it. We have a very happy lava flame. We got a 1/1. It's a land creature mountain. So it is this like the red version of Dryad Arbor. We can tap to add a red. It's got haste. Whenever Aggro Craig attacks, add a red. This mana doesn't empty from your mana pool as steps and phases end. It's probably fine. Oh no, it has haste. It's not fine. Okay, that's a problem. Okay, yeah, that's broken. Yeah. If it didn't have haste, I think this is maybe reasonable, because if you want to play it on turn 1 to ramp yourself, there's a bit of a cost, obviously, because it could die. Your Aggro Craig will go straight to the dumpster, to my lightning bolt. But because it has haste, you immediately get value off of this card. So like, who cares? Like you get like you get a mana that you're not going to lose for the rest of the game. It is still land. We done need burgers. It is still land. So for this, I think it's actually a little too strong. Looks like a happy little fella. Sure, he'd never light you on fire. It's just like looks like the gingerbread man to me. Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. Asla says you can find it now. The Elixir Vitae. Okay, let's look up the Elixir Vitae. No! Oh, sorry, hold on. I spelled it wrong this time. Okay, this time was my fault. We got the Elixir Vitae. I wonder, did I spell it wrong the first time around? I don't think so. Okay, it's a 7-mana legendary artifact. Tap, pay also 3. I think you have to have those reversed around. I think it's pay 3, then tap. Your life total becomes 1. Why? If you have any poison counters, set the number of poison counters you have to 9. If you have any commander damage, set the amount of commander damage you have taken to 20. Exile the stack. But why would we want to do this? Life total becomes 1. We go to 9 poison. We're basically on the brink of death. Are we trying to like win with near-death experience or something? "20 commander damage kills you, dude." No, it's 21 actually. 21. That was important because apparently there's like a lot of 10 power legendary creatures. So they wanted to make sure you died in 3 turns, not 2. God damn, you have a cute avatar, Menlo, Marshallese. It's a very cute avatar. What is this? Is this from a cartoon or something? It's like half Pokemon, half something. Yeah, 21 is what kills you. But like, what's the purpose of, like, okay, sure, it passes. A single sip will preserve your life at a terrible cost. I don't feel like I'm being preserved at all. Oh, it exiles the stack? Your life total becomes 1. You get the 9 poison if you have any commander damage. Oh, the whole point is exile the stack. Weird. It's from Magica Madaka. All right, thank you for letting me know. Okay, so it's like the ultimate counterspell. Greatness at any cost. Greatness at any cost. It's a last-ditch survival card if about to die to spells. True story. If you know that cute creature is a horrible being, it's one of those if you know, you know sort of things. Sticky Fingers, Brain Gorger Goblin. Let's take a look at the Brain Gorger. Hoo-hoo, coming for them brains. It's a goblin zombie for a black. It's a 1/2. It's got thresholds. You need 7 cards in your graveyard. It has haste and protection from instants. When Brain Gorger Goblin enters or attacks, target player mills 2 cards and exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. That's such a weird ability. Oh, I see. So it's like a graveyard hate, but you're still filling their graveyard. It almost sounds like you're It's like you're gonna exile a problem, but you might also create more of a problem. Whenever a creature card is exiled from a graveyard, you put a +1/+1 counter on Brain Gorger Goblin. So turn 1, it is a 2/3, which is very, very respectable. And it's not going to have haste and protection from instants instantly, because you have to get that threshold enabled. Target player, and that player could be you. So you mill 2 cards from yourself to help enable threshold. Then exile up to 1 target card from a grave. Oh, so I could mill myself for 2, exile a card from somebody else, as worded. Okay, I like this card. I really like this card. I think the goblins and zombie decks would absolutely. The zombie decks actually. Forget the goblin decks; they can't use this very well. The zombie decks would be all over this. So this is probably the card that zombie decks need. Yeah, Modern Horizons 4 is going to print this. It's not even unlikely. 1 black mana seems a bit cheap for this. It's essentially like a 1 mana 2/3. Actually, it's not even guaranteed. So on turn 1, it may not even be a 1 mana 2/3, because if there's no creature card to exile. What the hell? We're not done yet. We are not done yet. How far are we into the show? Only 1 hour, 42 minutes. That's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. Get another cup of tea or coffee. We're going in for the long haul here. Super long haul. It's a long show today. So it'd be banned in some formats, but for the rest, I think it's okay, honestly. I think it's perfectly fine. It's obviously a pushed card. Look, when they printed Ragavan, I thought that was nuts. What is Ragavan? It's like, it can have haste. It has protection from sorceries if you dash it. You can play cards from your opponent's deck, so it's basically drawing a card every turn, and it ramps you. I mean, that is bonkers. This card doesn't do even half of that. I like it. Okay, next up, let's take a look at... Okay, we're going to go back to Darkstar Ashura. Murder Reckoner for something Rev 3. Murder Reckoner. 4 mana, 1/3 human warlock. Discard your hand, mill X cards, where X is the number of cards discarded this way. Create a 1/1 black bird creature token with flying for each creature card milled this way. Activate only as a sorcery and only once each turn. Hellbent. As long as you have no cards in your hand, escape costs of cards in your graveyard cost 3 less to cast? Oh my god. I do not know what the consequences of printing this card into existence. Not to mention that we could like really dump our entire deck into our graveyard. We discard our hand. By the way, hold on. Discard your hand. Mill X cards, where X is the number of cards discard this way. Okay, that's fine. So you dump 6 cards, you mill 6 cards. Can't do it for 0. Hold on. Create a 1/1 black bird creature token with flying for each creature card milled this way. Okay. You actually completely balanced that out. It's probably fine. Red and black decks would love with a Rakdos decks, they would love it. They would love it. Okay, let's get another one from Will Anderson. The Ideal of Heaven. Can I ask, like, what's up with these, like, is it thing, like, hybrid mana? People are just throwing it out there like candy these days. There's hybrid mana here, hybrid mana there. Does it actually have any flavor? I have no idea what makes something a hybrid mana card these days. Okay, it's an enchantment for 3. Flash. You can pay 2 life and exile an enchantment card from your hand rather than pay this spell's mana cost. Ooh. Whenever a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to sacrifice 1 or more permanents. For each permanent you sacrifice, search your library for an enchantment card. Put it into play, then shuffle your library. This is a absolute banger card. This is a great idea. You make me sacrifice my permanents. Well, I'm gonna tinker out an enchantment, and it's like big card disadvantage, right? You lose this card. Oh no, you don't lose this card. You do put it into play, and they also have the option of actually destroying this in response. SamG is like, I rather like 4 color cards. Wish Wizards would print more of them. Thought they print tons of them. A great card. Great idea. We don't have a lot of anti-sacrifice stuff going on in this world. Not enough anti-sac. Corbinek, the Green Man. Sounds awful. Sounds like that person that does all the effects in movies. The green screen man. Ah! Okay, it is 6 green for a legendary creature. Eternal Entity. It's got a star. It's like a Tarmogoyf. It's star, power, star, +1 toughness. This card can only enter the battlefield the first time it was cast from your hand. And for its casting cost, this card can't be countered or returned to its owner's hand. What? If this card is in the grave or in exile, you may cast it if it was in your hand, or as if it was in your hand. This card's power is equal to the number of cards in all players' hands, and this card's toughness is equal to the number of cards in all graveyards or in exile, whichever is greater. The fact that its power is based on cards in hand actually makes it fair. At first, first off, the first 2 abilities, or the first few abilities, just made it look like it's broken. It's like, oh, I have protection for everything. You can't even counter it. And I can come back from the graveyard an unlimited number of times. But there is the downside that it might not even do anything. It might be like a really sad, like, 3/7 creature on the battlefield for 6 mana. So that actually balances out quite fine. Okay, next up, we've got Super Chats from Sebastian. Thank you very much for your Super Chat. Version 1 of Dual Color Satyr Cycles. Where flavor is of utmost importance. They are all Planeswalker hate. Sorry that I'm poor, can't pay for all. That's okay. You're 5 euros. You get... You're gonna get a few. Let's look at 3 of them. The Astute Satyr. It is Azorius 1 generic for a 1/2 Satyr. Planeswalker loyalty abilities cost 2 more to activate. They gotta pay up. Those Planeswalkers, they're not paying their taxes. They're just summoning spells for nothing. For absolutely nothing. We gotta tax the Planeswalkers. At the beginning of your combat phase, you may choose to exchange control of target Planeswalker you control and target Planeswalker you don't control. If you don't, target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. I don't know what the consequences of this type of card is, beginning of combat phase, you may choose to exchange control of target planeswalkers. We dual switcheroo, but if I don't want to do that, creature gains hexproof until end of turn, but then you can kill it next turn. Is it jealousy? If you can control the consequences, I think this is okay. You know, I miss cards like this where they have got like this super powerful taxing effect, but it's like a 1/2 creature. Now these days it's like 6 mana. It's a buffy creature and like it can do everything. Okay, Tutelary Satyr. This is an Selesnya 2 generic, 2/5 Satyr. Tutelary Satyr and tokens you control gain protection from planeswalkers. If an ability a planeswalker you don't control would create any token under their control, they don't, and you create twice that many of those tokens under your control instead. Gain life equal to the toughness. So they would just not create a token. That's all. I think the deal is like, while this is on the battlefield, it has no, like, I understand the ability. They would just not make tokens. You might as well just say like, don't make, well, I guess what you're saying is, well, if they would create any tokens, they don't. So here's a problem with this type of card. You say they don't make their token, and you create twice that many of those tokens under your control. But the thing is, they just won't make the token, so the second ability is useless, you know? So I think this is a weirdly designed card. It should be either they get the token so that you get a token as well, or they just don't get, if a planeswalker would make a token, it just doesn't, because you would never get the second ability. It would never happen. Someone hates Super Friends. Oh yeah, too many planeswalkers on the battlefield. And we got Monstrous Satyr. This is Golgari 2 generic for a 3/4 Satyr. Whenever an opponent activates a loyalty ability of a planeswalker, add green or black equal to the number of counters on that permanent. You don't lose that mana. Put a +1/+1 counter on Monstrous Satyr. Whenever a non-token creature deals damage to a planeswalker, destroy that planeswalker. You get touched, you die. Basically, it's like all creatures have planeswalker death touch. I think this is fine. I think it's fine. I think it's pretty. I think it'd be much more interesting if you just have this bottom ability. And you could say even tokens. Whenever a creature deals damage to a planeswalker, destroy that planeswalker. I think that's a very interesting card just by itself. To finally give death touch to creatures for planeswalkers. I don't even know why non-tokens aren't allowed, even if they go wide to like snipe it down for 1. What do you mean you don't lose that mana? That's like an unending reservoir. Well, there's a lot of cards that are like that. You float the mana for eternity. But it's like a weird ability. I agree. It's like sort of weird. But I mean, the card is fine by itself, as is. All right, next up, Elixir. Heart of War. Thanks so much. Only card for today. I'm late for the show. Hope the card makes sense. You know, I feel like you already made a card. But what it is like another user made a card called Elixir. It was named after you, Elixir. Named after you. Okay, this is quadruple red 1 generic. It's a curse. Whenever a source deals damage to enchanted player, it deals 1 damage X times, divided as you choose among any number of targets, where X is the amount of damage that source would have dealt. What the F does that mean? Whenever a source deals damage to enchanted player, okay, let's say I deal 3 damage. It instead deals 1 damage X times, divided as you choose among any number of targets. What does that mean? We're like multiplying and dividing at the same time? Deals 1 damage. Deals 1 damage X times. Oh, hold on. Okay. So whenever okay, sorry. There's not even X in the casting cost. I don't get this. where X is the amount of damage that source would have dealt. I needed like a hard explanation here. Does anyone get this card? It sounds too mathy to me. It's too late in the day. It's like, it's either too early or too late in the day for this. If you combine this with other cards that add damage, it's pretty nasty. I don't know. Okay. Instead, deals 1 damage, X times, divided as you choose among any number of targets. Oh, so hold on. Oh, okay, hold on. So the point is, if I deal 10 damage, I can then divide that damage to whatever I want. Okay, so if you bolt summon, you can divide the damage to other targets. Okay, yeah, I just realized it in the end. What are you people trying to do? What are you people trying to make with these cards? This is, you know, as I read these, it's like,
No, God, please, no.
this is the type of card that I'm like, I don't really know what it does, but I'm gonna trust you when you play it. You just tell me what the end result is. Okay, I lose 5 life. Okay, I lose 5 life and I wipe out a bunch of creatures on the board. All right, this is super fair. It's very, 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 very fair. Honestly, not that good. I think it's fine. Like, you can now damage the opponent to kill creatures if necessary. It's got a purpose. It does a little something. Okay, next up. Another Dark Star Shura, Vortex of Calamity. This is red, 3 generic enchantment. Flash. If a player would begin an extra turn, that player skips that turn instead. Ha! Players also can't gain life. And damage can't be prevented. Looks like a ley line of some sort. Anyway, I have nothing to say about this card. It's perfectly fine. I'm guessing you're in some sort of take an extra turn meta of some sort. It's the only like all these. This is okay. Damage can't be prevented. Happens all the time. Players can't gain life. Happens all the time. Players, if players would begin an extra turn, they skip it. That is a lot more rare. For 5, it's great. Yeah, I think it's completely fine. The most relevant thing is still going to be like players can't gain life. People love their life gain. Going to 0, that sucks. We gotta keep high and dry. Next up, we've got we got one from Majra, another donation. Kanako, who gathers faith. Thanks so much for your donation, Majra. Is it for Pedgeman again? Kanako. It is! It is a Pedgeman special. Wooburg, star. It's a god. Enchantment. Enchantments you control are shrines in addition to their other types. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a shrine. With mana value X or less, where X is the number of shrines you control. Put that card on the battlefield and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Kanakor's power and toughness is each equal to the number of shrines you control, but not a shrine itself. So you need to have a random shrine on the battlefield just to make sure that this creature doesn't die. Oh, sorry. No. Enchantments are also shrines. Okay, if I go back to the first line of text, enchantments are also shrines at the same time. So that completely works out. I think this is a great design card. Yeah, if they enchantment, they shrine. I think therefore I shrine. All right, next up. The damn draws with Abula Arisen. Abuela. Abuela Arisen. This is a black 1/1 skeleton zombie. Oh, you know, from the corner of my eye, I thought they were holding a guitar or something. Now I realize it's like a nanny with a what's this? A rolling pin. Okay, it's a 1/1 death touch. When Abuela Arisen enters, create 3 food tokens. We could also use, yes, we all need to be famished around here. I don't get it, actually. What's the flavor here? We have a skeleton zombie feeding us food? Where did that food come from? This food tastes like rotting flesh. Yeah, hi, Grandma. Grandma from beyond the grave. Winter Fox, one dumb thing, not part of a set. Just in its isolation, huh? Holy moly! Look at that mana cost. Blue, Phyrexian, Dimir, Azorius. 2 generic. This can't be real. Chaos ensues! All permanents have flying, reach, haste, commutative upkeep, Phyrexian, Bushido 1, infect, protection from all, Annihilator 1, ingest, banding, party, berserk storm, cycling for a blue and a Phyrexian. Gravestorm, you lose the game! You win the game! You cannot lose the game. You cannot win the game. Shroud and Hexproof. So how do I break physics this time? I don't... Permanents you have you... How can a permanent just say you win the game? You're right. Chaos did ensue, didn't it? Winter Fox. Chaos ensued big time. Yeah, keyword salad. Toss it up with Thousand Island dressing. Corbinek, last one for real. That's what they always say. Did you make another one later? Oh, you did. You lied. You lied. Oh, I know your super chats of the future. I know all your lies in advance. Zion Sign of Might. The Zion Scion. Oh god, what the hell is this? Okay, black, blue, red, 9 generic. It's a godling horror. Is that like a god that was just born or something? Haste, indestructible, vigilance, shroud, menace, and uncounterable. Zion's power and toughness is each equal to the number of permanents on the battlefield. Holy crap. Discard 2 cards. Counter target spell. This reminds me of Kozilek. This is giving off very big Kozilek vibes. If Zion enters from play from anywhere but your hand, and by paying casting cost, you must sacrifice all other permanents you control and discard your hand. It loses haste. That's interesting. You know what? I'm not lying. I think this is a well-designed card. It's like Emrakul mana. You still need to pay some mana cost for it. If you cheat it in play, it can die. Oh, no, it's indestructible, but it loses haste. You know, I don't know if it's a worse Progenitus. It's a different Progenitus, though. Because, like, Progenitus, you have got, like, a 10-10 in play, but it doesn't actually do anything. Whereas Zion Scion can interact with the opponent by discarding 2 cards and countering your opponent's spells. It also doesn't have Trample. Chump block forever. No, it has Menace, though. All right, it's got Menace. You're not going to easily block it. Not around here, no. Okay, actually, this is a great card. It looked like it was going to be something you instantly shred, but I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it's not bad. It's not. It's you start reading it. It's like it's not that bad. Surefire Selves, the Endless Carnage. Endless Carnage is red 4 generic. A 6/6 incarnation. It's an enchantment creature. It's got impending 4. Red 2 generic. I have no idea what that means. If you cast the spell for its impending cost, it enters with 4 time counters, and it isn't a creature until the last one is removed. At the beginning of your end step, remove a time counter from it. It's got haste and menace. At the what is with everyone's fascination with haste and menace? I want it to have haste, and I don't want anyone chump blocking my damn creature. And I just started thinking, you know how there's hybrid mana on every card? I think it's because people hate getting mana screwed trying to pay for some double green or double white card. So like so many of you are just giving hybrid mana, make it easier to cast your spells because your mana bases aren't top tier. Nikachu not aware of new cards / mechanics. Oh, this impending 4. No, I don't. If it doesn't reach Modern or Legacy, I don't know the mechanic exists. Okay, after each player's draw step, there is an additional combat phase. That is absolutely insane. Oh, it's after each player's draw step. Oh my god. So actually it affects other people too. Each player skips all other main phases on the turn beyond the first. So like, so you get one main phase, but then we're going at it full speed ahead. Yeah, MH3 logo makes some sense. I guess it's okay. Chaos is gonna absolutely ensue from this card. Yeah, I know it's phenomenally bad for the caster because you don't get to take advantage of the extra combat step. So the wording there right at the end actually makes it very, very fair. You get combat main phase. No. So first one is like each player skips all their main phases on their turn beyond the first. So, well, you would play this on your second main phase, and after each player's draw step, like unless you cast this at flash speed at your upkeep, like you don't get that additional combat phase because you'll play this on main phase 1, or you should be playing it on main phase 2, so you get a second main phase, and then you just don't get the extra combat step. But when it comes back around to your turn, yes, you go like, you get combat, main phase, combat, and then no more main phase. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's correct. You get the additional combat phase after the draw step. So yeah, it's not main phase combat, it's combat, main phase, combat. That is correct. But the creatures don't untap. Figure it out. I don't know. You have one combat, you attack, and then you see what happens, and then you have another combat and you attack. Hey, look, how broken do you want this card to be? How broken? I think it's interesting. To be honest, this not having an ETB attack trigger makes it weird impending. Whatever. Cool card. Okay, next up, we'll get one from another Dark Star Ashura, Stoic Guardian. Thank you very much for your super chats. The Guardian. White, 4 generic for a 6/6 giant soldier. Spells cast from the graveyard cost 1 more to cast. Creatures can't enter the battlefield from graveyards. I don't think this card needs to be 6 mana. Like, it can, if you just want this gigantic 6/6. I think this is a completely reasonable card at, say, 2 mana. Like, I honestly think you could, like, shrink this down super low. Of course, if it's 2 mana, you got to change the power and toughness. So it could be, like, a 2/3 or something. Yeah, it's like a weird ability. It's like, here's the thing, like, it's a weird ability to have at 6 mana because, like, at that point, if you have 6 mana, think about your opponents casting cards from their graveyard. They can just probably pay that 1 tax. Like, oh, I got to pay 1 mana. Well, I got plenty of 1 mana anyway. Yeah, it could be white 2/3, something to that effect. But like, if this was supposed to be like a Titan of some sort, like, maybe you can increase the graveyard cost, to be honest. Spells cast from graveyards cost like 4 more to cast because it's 6 mana. So you can you either up the ante on the tax because it's an outrageous 6 mana, or you can just shrink the entire card down. But it's definitely underpowered by a lot. Sure, make it a white for 2/3. That's fine. Or you increase you can increase the tax by a lot for 6 mana to make it like make the effect more relevant at that point in the game anyway. All right, moving on. We got another one from Surefire Selves with the Oslin Russ Grave Snatcher. Black, blue, 2 generic for a 3/2 Vampire Ninja. I think vampires would make great ninjas. They love being around at night. Ninjutsu for 3. It's got menace. Whenever a creature... What's the point of menace? It's going to be ninjutsu'd in play. Whenever a creature you control with a ninjutsu ability enters the battlefield tapped and attacking, you may pay 2. If you do, return another creature card with mana value less than or equal to that creature's mana value from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. Oh, if you do return another creature. Are you just giving ninjutsu to like a random other thing? You may return another creature card with mana value less than or equal to that creature's mana value from your graveyard to the battlefield tap. Oh, I see. Are we bringing the dead back? Okay, it's tapped and attacking. So hold on, this thing comes in play, tapped and attacking. I can pay 2, and then if I do, I reanimate something. Tapped and attacking. It's like, I got ninjutsu on top of my ninjutsu. Christopher B letting us know 41 minutes behind, a double Quuberg, if you will. I have no idea what that means. But hello to Christopher B from the past. Sorry, we're from the future talking to Christopher B in the present. That's too much. I think it's literally like a really janky card. There's yes, you're bringing the dead back. There is no way this is broken. It is 100% safe. It's like literally 5 mana to reanimate something. And you need an unblocked creature. And you're bouncing a creature back to your hand. Like, how much more disadvantage do you want to, like, load up on this card? As far as I'm concerned. A card returned from the graveyard should be exiled at end of turn. Do you have any idea the work we're putting into this thing? This is crazy. Like, okay, let's think about this for a second. First, we need some sort of card to put a payoff in the graveyard. Like, we need some card to discard a payoff into the graveyard. Next, we literally need to attack into the red zone with a creature that doesn't get blocked. Then we need to bounce it for 3 mana. Then we need an extra 2 mana to bounce this stupid creature to bring back that card from the graveyard. I think it's hard. Sounds hard to me, at least. I don't know. Maybe you guys have more experience with ninjutsu than I do. Steve Cooper is like, I would not be a happy camera play against this. It's passing, man. Letting it pass. Thou shall pass around here. Sticky Fingers 999. Winter of Zanye. Thank you very much for your super chat. We got a blue 4 generic legendary sorcery. You may cast the legendary sorcery only if you control legendary creature or planeswalker. Was that right? I thought like you needed any legendary permanent. I don't cast many legendary sorceries. Mantra is like, I play ninjas and I would play that. All right, that's good to know. Okay, you may cast Winter of Zanye as if it had flash if you control a creature with horsemanship. Enabling horsemanship. You know what? That is an underrated mechanic. You got to bring it back. Only showed up in one set, basically. Or one block, I should say. Choose one permanent you control. Tap all other permanents and put one stun counter on them. They're going to be stunned. Everyone's not going to be happy about that one. So we can have flash if we have horsemanship. Choose one permanent you control. Only a permanent. So basically, you like prevent people from untapping their lands. Tap all other permanents and put one stun counter. It's like, okay, tap all your lands and then we're freezing them. Freeze in hell, Batman. Yeah, no one gets to untap. This is like stasis. Yeah, it's stasis. Stasis in sorcery form. Except you can't like destroy this. If you have some way to loop this, that is going to be what you're probably going to get banned from your playgroup. They'll be like, get out of here. We don't need this Winter of Zanye card. We got Surefire ourselves like Sun Quan, Lord of Wu Commander deck. Yeah, exactly. Well, sleep is not the same thing. Sleep is only tap their creatures and then they untap on their turn, right? Whereas I think that's how sleep works. Where this is like you tap everything. Tap your artifacts, your mana rocks, your lands, and stun them until next turn. This gives you like, I guess, free reign to attack players twice, I suppose. Yeah, my boy horsemanship. Darkstar is like, hey, I got a Sun Quan Commander deck. It's fun. Now is the winter of our Discord. All right, cool card. We're gonna have another. We've got another donation from Madra. Another dono for Pedgeman. The Hecacia. I'll read Hecacia. Lapis Lazuli. You know, when you invent these cards with these crazy names, does anyone like actually try to pronounce them before they put it on paper? It's like, yeah, this looks cool, but then nobody actually tries to pronounce it. Okay, we got for red, black, blue, white, one generic, a 5/5 god with flying and ward. Discard a card. What the hell does that mean? Oh, sorry. Okay, I thought it was like ward. You have to discard flying somehow. No, it's flying. And then it has ward, discard a card. Shouldn't that be like on another line? When... Oh, sorry. The legend rule does not apply to this card. You want to clone your card, do you? When Hecacia enters, create 2 phased out tokens that are copies of her, except one has lifelink and the other one has double strike. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, phase out all but one creature named Hecacia Lapis Lazuli you control. So effectively, I actually really like the design of this thing. It's like you have multiple personalities of this card on the battlefield, and you can choose any one of them that you want. But but they're really strong on defense. I don't know how to word that. It's incredible. You have like 15 power worth of blockers for 5 mana. It's actually been insane. How do you make a phased out token if phased out means it doesn't exist? Huh? It just phases out. You can phase out tokens. They phase back in. Okay, I'm going to say it's actually too broken. I think for 5 mana, putting 15 power on the battlefield is maybe it's not that bad. Okay, on turn 1, it's 15 power, but on every other turn, you only have 5 power, because you do have to get rid of it. You have to get rid of 1. 4 birds of paradise to cast this. It's going to cost you 4 birds of paradise. You need 4 birds here. So you get 1 of 3 per turn. Now, because they phase out at the beginning of combat, so you only have 1 to block with. Wrong! You know what you can do? Second main phase. I move past my combat phase, second main phase. Hecacia Lapis Lazuli put a huge amount of power on the battlefield. Got him! Okay, so there's a bit of a design flaw. If you can figure that one out, I think this card's fine. Other than that, it's like pretty broken. 15 power, turn 3 or whatever. That would be very frustrating to play against. On top of that, they have double strike. This thing's so big. This card's too big. Make it a 3/3 or something. I think it's too big. It's basically, one of these are like a damn 10/10. And has phasing, so like they have protection from each other. So like if you wipe the board, you get another 2. Yeah, now the more I think about it, it's like it's broken. On turn 1, it's already 5 because the tokens start phasing out. No, they don't phase out immediately. Second main phase, put a bunch of stuff, and then that's it. They stay here. See, at the beginning of combat on your turn, phase out all but one creature named Hecacia you control. So you go to your second main phase, play this, you get two copies, and then just sit past the turn. Well, copy spells is just abuse at this point. Oh yeah, and then you could copy this? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, too strong. Too strong. In my opinion. You create the token phased out? I don't know. Create. Oh, it was balanced like that. Okay, so let's reread. Okay, this is definitely a situation you got me. Chat got me. And this is definitely a situation someone's going to write in the comment section. I can't stand how Nikachu can't read cards. Reading and comprehending are 2 different things. You know why nobody does shows like this? Because it's really hard to read the cards, manage chat, look up cards, give colorful commentary, and press the sound effects at the same time, all right? I'm willing to put myself out there and look like a complete idiot. Okay, so we create 2 phased out tokens. I still think this is very strong. I still think it's very strong. You don't have the blockers, but you basically created 3 cards for 5. So at any moment, you can have a 10-10... you basically have a 10 power creature because of the double strike, or you gain life off of the other one. Or you blink these damn things, right? What if you blink one of them? It enters the battlefield. You create 2 phased out tokens that are copies of her, except one has lifelink and the other one has double strike. So you like blink the crap out of it, and it's still insane. It's also to avoid the token making more tokens. Since they are copies, they have ETB. It is very strong. It's 3 cards. Yeah, of course. This needs to be like way more mana or way less power. I don't know which one it is. That is my final verdict. I don't know how many times I buzzed this card. Not enough! Okay, we got Winter Fox here. The Wandering Cosmic Songstress. It's a simple one. I like the sound of that. It's funny, you're not the only person who made a Wandering Cosmic Songstress post. As weird as that sounds. Okay, we got Colorless, Snow, 3 generic for a 0/1. This is a classic type of card that you make. It's a 0/1. It's a Robin. It's a Hallovian Idol. With Hexproof, Flying, and Indestructible. Creatures you control get +1. Sorry, they gain +1/+1 and have creature abilities cost 1 less mana to activate. This little songbird seems to have gotten lost. Her voice still contains the power of harmony, which continues to empower those whom hear it. Next up. Actually, let's get a Darkstar Ashura. I put something in the Discord for you. Also donate. The hell does that mean? I put something in the Discord for you. Wait, at the bottom? Who the hell posted this? Land Warp, and it's moving. It's like impossible to read. Why is everyone bouncing everything around? What the hell? We have an... Why do we have a bot that does this? This makes absolutely no sense. This bot is terrible. Used bounce. Oh, this is the SM bot. Where the hell do these bots come from? Okay, I guess that's the thing. Okay, moving on. Okay, that was supposed to be a donation. Okay, stop moving. I can't read it. It's a Land Warp. Was this a super chat? It was not. Okay, good. Land Warp. No one submit the bounce. Submitting cards under bounce is like impossible for the users to watch and read. I'm just here for the food. It's in the coffee crew chat. Okay, hold on. Oh, we got a bingo card. I was a bit bored and made a custom card bingo sheet for you. All right, we'll do that for next time. Thank you so much. Perfect. That's beautiful. Okay, now let's go back to custom MTG cards. Okay, if it bounces, I'm not reading this damn thing. Oh, thank you so much, Toads. Okay, we got a green 1 generic enchantment. Players can't play non-basic lands from their hand. Whenever a player plays a basic land from their hand, they may search their library for a non-basic land and put it into play. Players can't play non-basic lands from their hand. Whenever a player plays a basic land... What a weird card! Whenever a player plays a basic land from their hand, they may search their library. So basically, you get 2 lands in 1. You can't play the non-basic lands. This is very, very unusual, but very interesting. Yeah, reading donation challenge mode accepted. So basically, you draw non-basic lands, they're dead. But if you have basic lands, they're great. because the basic lands basically ramp you by 2. Every basic land, if you... This is really strong in a deck that has a lot of basics in it. But at the same time, you need to have non-basic lands, so I think it's balanced. I like it. I don't even think it's OP in Legacy. I think it's not even... isn't this insane? So you still need a good density of, like, non-basics in your deck to abuse it. Or maybe you only need, like, 5. Maybe you only need, like, 5 or 6. Because your first basic lands will always find your non-basics. Can easily brick decks. L non-basic. What is this bounce thing? Where did this come from? I'm disabling this bot when I'm done here. This is annoying as hell. Can't read the damn cards here. Also, any non-basic for 2? No. It's an enchantment. It stays there on the battlefield. Okay, maybe it's too broken. Maybe it's like a basic... For a basic land, it just tutors things into play. You can, like, tutor for any non-basic. Alright, maybe it's too strong. A little too damn strong. Sounds good for my Beyond Eternity set. I think it's probably good for anything. I'm built different so I can use the bot. Are you like a bot yourself? Where'd this bot come from? I've never heard of this bot. Okay, moving on. We've got hold on, let me like fix up some more music for us. In the meantime, we're gonna be here for a little while. That looks wonderful. Okay, so we did this one. This was the donation. Okay, Dadam draws the Slip-O-Matic Honk Honk. Slip-O-Matic. I don't understand the honk honk part though. 2 mana for a 1/3 robot clown. Slip-O-Matic enters tapped. Pay 2, untap. Create a banana peel token with sacrifice this artifact. Any combat damage that would be dealt by target creature this turn is prevented. Then deal 1 damage to that creature. Tap Slip-O-Matic and deal 1 damage to it. Damage dealt this way isn't removed until end of turn. Wow! We slip and fall and only deal a singular point of damage. That's actually a huge win. Robot clown honk its nose. Honk honk. That's scary, robot clown. It's a Five Nights at Freddy's invention. All right, Corbinek, the Tattletale, continuing the Worm series cards. I thought this was like something from The Incredibles. Black, black, blue, blue. It's a 3/5 parahuman. Ward 2 or discard 2 cards. That's insane. Pay 2, look at the top card of target player's library. Also pay 3, tap. Look at target opponent's hand. You may have them discard an instant or sorcery spell. Pay 1, all opponents exile the top card of their deck. This effect can only be activated once a turn. Weirdly, maybe this is okay. It's basically just like a janky 3/5 creature with some like awkward abilities. So you can look at the top card of somebody's library, like that's not particularly impressive. You can pay 3 and tap like as a weird Thoughtseize effect. And then you can exile the top card of the library, but for only 1 mana and only once a turn. So you can do this like 4 times in a rotation. All right. Toad's like, most clowns are in my play group. All right, next up. Darkstar Shura. Final card, the Venom Blade. This is a 3 mana 2/3 Phyrexian Assassin with Toxic 1. Players dealt combat damage by this creature also get a poison counter. Whenever an ability of a planeswalker an opponent controls is activated or triggered, that player also gets a poison counter. What's with all the hate for the planeswalkers? People just hate planeswalkers. It's a perfectly fine card design. Perfectly fine. All right, we got the damn draws, utter tomfoolery, and 4 donations. What is this? This is, I guess, your last card. Utter Tom. The style looks very, what's it called? Very AI generated looking. A blue, 2 generic instant. Counter target spell unless its owner pays 4. Now, if target spell was countered this way, search your library for a spell of the same type with equal or lesser mana value and add it to your hand. You may cast it as if it had flash this turn. Oh, but you still have to pay for it. Interesting. All right, it's like half counter, half tutor. It's a very expensive counter spell at that. It's 4 mana. So I like it. You counter it. You counter and you tutor. And oh, by the way, I get something of similar mana value. It has to be less. But it has to be less. It cannot be more. And then we have, okay, 4 donations. Okay, let's see if we can get 4 donations on the Discord. I don't know if that's possible, but I'll try. Boop. Okay, we got Radioactive. Oh, I want to see this card. I'm going to give you both these cards. We got the Carcosa. Land, tap, add white, blue, or black. Pay 2. This is actually insane. It's a tricolor land that enters the battlefield tapped. Pay 2, tap, discard 2 cards. Transform Carcosa, activate only as a sorcery. Oh, is this all in one card? Hastur the Unspeakable. It is a 4 mana, legendary creature, human god horror. When Hastur the Unspeakable enters, you become the monarch. This has got to be broken. It's a 4 mana and you're instantly the monarch. But hold on, you can lose the monarch, right? Okay, whenever Hastur the Unspeakable attacks, each opponent mills cards equal to the number of cards in your hand. If you're the monarch, they mill twice that many cards instead. When Hastur the Unspeakable dies, you return it to the battlefield tapped and transformed under its owner's control. You get a tri-land. The soul is still a tri-land. You can get, and then you can transform it back, and it's back. Transforms back and forth. Oh, you got a card you want to see? All right, let's donate one to Avatar Woe. We got Rimuru, Veldora's Chosen. You got Rim. Okay, hold on. Let me look at Rimuru, Veldora's Chosen. You don't have a card? Come on, Avatar. Well, we need some standards here. Like, if you can invent the card, but you gotta custom make the damn thing. Okay, I'll read this one, but like all your future cards, you gotta like literally submit a card. We're not like this is like a text file at Wizards of the Coast, like in its design phase, basically. Rimuru, Tempest Veldora's Chosen. It costs black, red, blue, and 3 generic. It's a legendary ooze, human shapeshifter. Text box, Changeling. Whenever a card would go to the graveyard from anywhere, exile it with an analyst counter on it. If the card had haste, this card gains haste. The same is true for flying, death touch, lifelink, trample, first strike, double strike, hexproof, indestructible, shroud, and protection. Pay X, you may cast a token copy of target card exiled with an analysis counter without paying its mana cost. If the card is not a legendary permanent, sacrifice it at end of turn. Also for 2 and a black and tap, regenerate this creature. And also for X red, Storm Dragon Hellfire deals X damage among any number of targets you choose. If a creature is destroyed this way, draw a card. This sounds absolutely insane. Just absolutely insane. This has a lot of words on it. Let me guess. It's not in card form because it wouldn't fit on a card. We have standards around here. We have standards. So reading the card explains the card in this situation. Not really. I don't know what this card does. Sorry, I do not understand this damn thing. I understand that it's probably really strong. It's got that soul, what's it called? Soul Reaper, Soul Gorger? No. The soul card. It's like black, and delve, and you exile cards and you absorb its abilities for all the cards you exiled with delve. Card will go to the graveyard, so it gets exiled with an analysis counter, and so we gain the abilities every single time. So we just kill creatures and we get those abilities. And then we can cast a token copy of target card exiled without paying its mana cost. But we have to pay X? If the card is not a legendary permanent, sacrifice it. You may cast a token copy of target card. We didn't even specify X here. So what? X is 0. Okay, I think I've seen enough. X was not specified in this case. Timestamp, way simpler text box. We were arguing Kethril-esque effect. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, you got a free card on the show anyway. Okay, let's take a look at... okay, let's go look for a random... We have 2 more random cards, I think, to show. We got Oinkle. Is it Oinkleberry? We got Nadu, son of Kefnet. Oh, man, I think we got this one on another show. The 3-mana 3/4. You may cast permanent spells. Yeah, we did this on another show. Okay, let's get Krokor Games card on here. We got the Demigra, Lord of Demons. 6-mana 6/6 Demon Wizard with flying and lifelink and death touch. All other demons get +1/+1. When Demigra, Lord of Demons enters, we draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. That doesn't matter. Because if you blink it, it's like, it's going to see itself for the first time. Also, for a triple black, target demon gains lifelink, flying, and death touch until end of turn. Okay, hold on. Let's look into more of the present. Okay, let's get one from Soka. Zyrexia, Worshipper of Amnesia. This is a blue-black-white 2/3 demigod. Whenever Zyrexia attacks or at the beginning of your end step, you may appraisal 4? What is this? It's called... This feels like some sort of Storage Wars or Pawn Shop episode or something. If the card exiled this way had mana value 6 or greater, target opponent loses that much life. If Zyrexia would die from damage, you may mill that many cards. Instead, if you do, gain 3 life and draw a card. Okay, I think we can look at one more here. Where do we stop? Oh, it's another Soka card. Hold on, is there someone... Oh, here, let's give one to Steve Cooper. The Arcanist Scroll. It's a 3-mana artifact. As long as you control a spirit, each instant and sorcery you cast and in your hand are arcane in addition to its other types, with splice onto Arcane X, where X is the spell's mana cost. Did we literally just have like a second series of cards talking about splicing onto Arcane? Were you talking about that exactly at the same time? Oh, speak of the devil. Yeah, you got it. You donate so much, Steve Cooper. Okay, this was supposed to be a donation round. Got a super chat again. You missed the 2 cards. All right, this is another 2 super chats. Sorry, 3 super chats. So let's donate 2 of those to Steve Cooper, who donates to everybody almost every show. The Teacher's Tome, 3-mana artifact. As long as you control a wizard, each instant and sorcery you cast and in your library are a lesson in addition to its other types and has learn. You may reveal a lesson card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand, or discard a card to draw a card. As long as there are 3 or more lesson cards in your graveyard, you may search your library for lesson cards whenever you cast a spell with learn. I hope this is okay. I hope this is okay. But we could like discard them. So basically everything has cycle. As long as you control a wizard, each instant and sorcery you cast in your library is a lesson card in addition to its other types and has learn. But it's only when we cast it. I don't know how discarding it makes it work. So I don't think it gets broken. And Trapper's Spell Snare Manual. Also, I have to say, wonderful touch on the art for these cards. This is, as long as you control a druid or a ranger, each instant in your hand is a trap in addition to its other types, and has, if an opponent has cast 3 or more spells this turn, spell costs 3 less to cast this turn. Each instant. Oh, I see. So they play cards, and we trap you. You got trapped around here. So unlock everything, becoming Mystical Tutor. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, let's look for one more freebie. Dimitri! Where are you, Dimitri? The Rise of the Undead. It is a world sorcery for Wooburg and 30 mana. It's got epic for all players. At the beginning of each player's upkeep and draw phases, each of that player's opponents create 30 white zombie toad creature tokens. Zombie toads. 30 blue zombie Merfolk creature tokens, 30 black zombie Koopa creature tokens, 30 red zombie creature tokens, and 30 green zombie Yoshi creature tokens with XX and lifelink, vigilance, trample, and haste. Rex is equal to that token's owner's graveyard devotion, that color of that okay. This thing got broken when I saw the word haste. It's at the beginning of each player's upkeep and draw phase. That's crazy. It's like I get all these creatures at my draw step, at my upkeep, and then when I go draw a card, I also equally get this much stuff. So the next player's turn wins. That's the way I'm reading this. I cast this on my turn. I don't get my draw phase again. I don't get my upkeep. Then the next person actually gets all these creatures with haste, and they just have to ram them into us. Yeah. Pedgeman says, it was broken at the moment you saw Dimitri. You're not wrong, Pedgeman. I knew what I was getting into when I saw this card. Hopefully, Pedgeman made it this far down the show. Okay, Sticky Fingers. Thank you very much for your super chat. Unweaving. We got Unweaving for a blue and a black. It's an instant. Unweaving cannot be countered, because who likes their stuff getting countered? Surveil 1, an exile target spell. That is really strong. That is really strong. I think that's too strong. This is like Dovin's Veto on crack. This is like completely power creep Dovin's Veto. So not only can you target anything with this, you exile the spell, which is funny because you can actually unweaving someone else's unweaving. So like exiling the card is not the same as countering it. Yeah, I know, you can unweaving the unweaving. Well, I wouldn't say that makes this balanced around here. It's almost like the opposite of Dovin's Veto, where Dovin's Veto said it can't be countered, so a Dovin's Veto cannot counter a Dovin's Veto around here. An unweaving can unweave an unweaving, though. And there's Surveil 1. Exile target spell. I think it's fine at exiled. You know what? Can we just get rid of these other two abilities? It's like a strictly... No, it's 2 mana. I'm just thinking, is this like a strictly better counter spell? Maybe not. It's literally 2 mana. But it's uncounterable. The return of the mental misstep meta. With the current power creep, surprised they don't exile spells that much yet. Oh, they're waiting. They're waiting. Confused target Nikachu. Pitiful! Lady Delila Briarwood. Another thing, like, maybe this is fine. Maybe it's obviously pushed as hell. But, like, you do have to go into another color in order to, like, counter. It's effectively mostly a counter spell. It's just like, you counter target spell and you get to surveil. But it's obviously a power creep version of counter spell. Counter spell is not really that good these days. They're not as good. You know, they're completely overrated. Maja's like, no, that's too strong. I've been hit by so many counter spells my entire life. Oh, it's funny. This is like a counter to all the cards people made uncounterable today. It's like, I got an uncounterable card, and then we got Zoe here letting us all know, no, your card actually is counterable because I'm exiling it. And when you exile, let me tell you, it's gonna get removed from the stack. David says would get banned in Legacy. I actually don't think so. I think that, I'm not lying. I think this would be very close to unplayable in Legacy. Very close. Maybe not completely unplayable. It'd probably be C-play in some Dimir decks. But 2 mana for a counterspell is like a lot of mana in Legacy. Like, I don't think counterspell, like actual counterspell, sees play. I play Drago, and I think this is too much. I think it's an interesting card. I'll give it a pass. Okay, we got Joel West, the Chaos Emperor Dragon, for hold on, Dragon Envoy, Chaos Emperor Dragon Envoy. Now the art looks very Yu-Gi-Oh like. This is a very Yu-Gi-Oh looking card. It is Orzhov 3 generic for a 5/4 Dragon Praetor, and is an additional cost to cast this spell. Exile 1 black creature and 1 white creature from your graveyard. Pay X, double Phyrexian, send X permanents on the battlefield to the graveyard. What the hell does that mean? Including this card. So basically destroy X permanents. Your opponent takes 3 damage for each card sent this way. Oh no, that has to be busted. That cannot be. I guess it has to be a Yu-Gi-Oh! Adapted card. An additional cost to cast this spell. Exile 1 black creature and 1 white creature from your graveyard. Is that like a way of tributing this thing or ritual? We're going to tribute this thing onto the field. X. Oh, you do have to pay X. Sorry. X is. You do have to pay it in mana. So it's not. It's still pretty bad. It can go after lands. It can go after lands. That's too strong. You can, if it said non-land permanents, I might be getting behind this. And it will completely wipe someone out. This is super strong. It's a very strong card for Magic the Gathering, that's for sure. 5 mana is like, okay, that's fine. And then the next ability, okay, I pay for life. I pay like 5 mana. I'm gonna take out all your land. Like, hold on, what you just need 7 mana and you'd usually kill somebody in like a one-on-one game, and then in Commander you'll need a little bit more mana. It's a Magic the Gathering retrain of Yu-Gi-Oh card. Well, in that case, Yu-Gi-Oh is absolutely broken. Completely broken. This is as busted as the original. Interesting. Okay, we got Sebastian. Leyline of Constance. For when momentum is a problem in your playgroup. You're awesome, Nikachu. Thank you so much, Sebastian. I really appreciate it. We got a white-blue 2 generic enchantment called Leyline of Constance. If Leyline of Constance is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. Each player may scry 1, then draw a card during their upkeep. Oh, so it's like basically a superior Howling Mine. If Leyline of Constance would leave the battlefield, remove it from the game instead. Its controller may draw up to X cards, where X is the total number of cards in each player's hand. Oh my god, that's absolutely bonkers. You could destroy it yourself. So everyone has cards full of their hand. It's just easy. You just blow this thing up, and then you like cash in. You become like a billionaire overnight. Why do you have to have this last line? I think that card's broken. That's like, yeah, that's an insane. I mean, it takes some work, but it's just like end of turn. You can do it at end of turn. Yeah, you can do it at end of turn. End of turn, destroy my Leyline of Constance. I like this. Leyline of Constipation. You can't cast spells during your first main phase. During your second main phase, add 2 black. Ew. It should say non-land perms to be accurate. Oh, you mean the other card? Yeah. I think this last line, because the thing is, if it would leave the battlefield, so that's like, okay, if I bounce it to my, if you bounce it to your hand, if you destroy it, you can grossly abuse this thing. Yeah, absolutely. Storm would play this. So this is, well, I don't know. Maybe Storm would play this. Anyway, it's actually too insane of a draw engine. So I don't think it is going. It's not going to pass to the rank with this thing. I like this other ability though. Each player may scry 1 and then draw a card during their upkeep. If you just scrap the 3rd ability, this card is fine. Totally fine. Maybe you can even make it 3 mana if you wanted to. Okay, that's it. I can't believe we did this. What the hell? This was almost 3 hours. Do I have to add more rules here? We didn't even have Dimitri here. Somehow we didn't even have all the regulars, and it's still 3 hours long. This is ridiculous. All right, if you want to be part of the show, you got to do it. We got to be here weekdays at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's how we do it around here. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. I mean, the support is, I feel the support because I have to be here for 3 hours. 3 hours of support. But if you don't want to support during the show, you can always support by supporting on Patreon. Thanks to all my patrons and members on YouTube. Of course, if the people, we have to thank the people who support during the show or support Superchat during the show so other people can be part of the show. And of course, thanks to everyone who's here today that makes the show what it is. People like Jasper's Rab, the Jaded. We got Hegemony, Ferginka, Steve Cooper, Just a Damn Draws, Majra Hedgeman, Sticky Fingers, Yoshu, Toads, Christopher B, Winter Fox, and more. And we got Polls Rig. And because the show, it would be nothing without all of you. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep up brewing those coffees, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cut.